All right, all right, all right. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And I just shared a live video of the surveillance footage that was released in the Carmelo Anthony case. Now, if you guys did not see my prior live, we went over different video footage from the incident that happened with Carmelo Anthony the day of him getting his getting hands put on him, to which he defended himself. Let's share just a quick clip, and then we're gonna start our live call-in. All right, so in this video is some of the surveillance that was issued to the public, and it shows Carmelo under the yellow tent just moments before the incident. You're going to see somebody walk from out of the tent to the right. And as he's walking out, it's going to happen under the tent in the center. And then, okay, you see there's a tussle. Carmelo jumps out of the tent and then he runs off. Now, we watched this over and over and over again in another live video. And after that, there was a lot of people who had something to say. So I decided to start a whole new live so that we can go over what people are feeling about this, what they think. Let me put the link in the chat so that everybody can come up, tell me what you think about it, and let me know how you feel. Let me send the link to a couple of the people that I asked to come up here. All right. And in the meantime, let me replay the audio.
Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Over here. I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay, bro? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now detained. Everyone else can slow down. Suspect detained in handcuffs. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect. Okay. What's there? So nothing on your person at all. Nothing. Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Nothing gonna stab me? Not bad. A little personal there, okay? Just to make sure. Okay. All right. The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so I'll get medics. Memorial tent over there, guys. All right. He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me. Victim over here on the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. Already? No. We searched them. Got nothing. I don't know what happened. 413. Check the name of CBR process for a witness. Crazy. That's wrong. Sorry, I'll pay for it. It's up to you. It's up to you. Let me do one more little check of you, okay? You don't mind ever reaching your pockets, anything like that. You good? I'm wearing some little under. No, ma'am, I don't think so.
All right, so we're going to stop this here. I was just giving some people some time to come on in. If you guys missed my previous live where we went over this over and over and over again, definitely check that video out. I'm going to bring Gerald up because he was in the courthouse when we saw this footage. Gerald, what is your thoughts about this?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, wow. Hello, everybody. My thoughts about this is free Carmelo, but I just feel like the video that we saw on the first day, which was boring and it was making me really, really tired and sleepy. You couldn't really see anything. Like you could see like motions and like movement and stuff, but you really can't make out, like I said in the beginning, anything that the prosecutor pointed out or anything that the defense pointed out or what have you. But this new video that they released is the one that came from the video analysis forensic expert or whatever, but we didn't get to see this video. This was my first time, I'm sure yours as well, seeing this
Right.
video because we didn't see it. They only showed it to the jury.
Well,
And at that
well, I'm gonna pause you. We
okay.
saw this video. We didn't see this video enhanced.
Right. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't see
yeah. So we
the
saw it, but we
magnified
saw it more blurry.
blurry. Yeah. So this magnified video and spotlighted video that was released today was done by the forensic expert video analysis who was on the stand. We didn't get to see this video. Only the jury saw it. But I'm not gonna tell you no lie, Neat. When I watched this video repeatedly, like in one point after like the movement of the shoving and pushing and punching or whatever, like the video kind of skips and it takes a person out, and then all of a sudden Carmelo is at the top of these bleachers, and then he gets to run it down. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm a screen record and show it to you. But I
Yeah,
just feel
I'll pull it up. I seen what you're talking about. Let me let's go because it's right around 7:50 mark on the 15-minute video. Let's play it. I'll put it on the screen. I'll take you I'll make it the main thing. Hold
okay.
on, let me remove this. And then you can watch it and you can narrate what we're watching or what you are pointing out to
Okay.
us. So all right, let me put it up. Let's share it. Let me put it as full screen. Okay. And then as we watch, as soon as the boy steps out the tent to the right, then that's when it's happening. So right here.
Can you
All right.
try to
I'll start
zoom in?
narrating.
Are you able to zoom in a little bit more to the tent?
No, go. It's
Uh
happening right now. Oh, you missed it. Okay. Let me back
okay,
up.
okay. So
This is
play it one
as
more.
much. Okay. So
That's
go ahead.
perfect. Okay, now back it
All
up
right.
a little bit.
Right here. Right here. He gets out the tent. Right now. Start.
Okay, so you see the push right there. Okay, and then all of a sudden, the person that was right
Hold
in
on.
the middle.
Hold on.
I don't know. It's
Let me
kind of
back it
hard
up
without
some
a
more.
pointer.
Let me point back. Okay, so let me back it up 30 sec. Oh wait, I think this is probably too far. All right, right there. Let's
Okay, let me see.
and you just
Okay, so y'all see right here. Okay, you see a person like standing up, right? But you see where the M is, the middle part that comes down. If you look right down from the
right
M, you
there.
see the push, and then all of a sudden, that part right there in the middle where it was black at, you can see the bleachers all of a sudden, and then Carmelo is up at the top, and then he's running down.
Let me see
Like
if I
they
can put
really,
it in slow motion. Hold on.
yeah. Try to slow more down.
Playback speed. Let's slow mo it. And let me bring it to the 7. Okay, 7:45. All right.
Yeah.
Let's slow mo it.
And then look where the middle of the M is, and just look down. You're gonna see black right there. You see the black, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's like it disappears. Like it's like they took that person out of the video.
All right, let me back it up again. Hold on. Let's go back. All right. Let's play it again. And then point it out right when it happens, because right when this boy steps out.
Okay. Push right there. It just happened. Do it one more time.
All right, let me make it slower. Maybe hold on. Playback speed.
Yeah, make
Wait,
it a
am I
little.
speeding it up? Or hold on. I think
Yeah.
I sped it up. Hold on. Okay. Oh wait, that's probably too slow. It's right when the boys
Okay.
right.
So you finna see the push in a minute or whatever is happening. It's not there yet. Okay, here go the movement, and then right there. Wait, hold on. Right, you see it? It just it's I don't know. It's hard. I'm gonna do a spotlight video on it so y'all can see it better. But did you see it, Neek?
How there was a glitch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here, let's
I'm
go
gonna,
back one more time. There's a
yeah.
glitch. You mean like there's like a
It's like they take the person like after the push a little bit, and then the person comes back towards the left. It's like then all of a sudden Carmelo is at the top, and then the person that was right there is gone as well. You could just see the bleachers. It's like they removed them. They AI'd something with the video. You see what I'm saying? Because that wasn't Carmelo right there in that spot because he's on the right.
all right. What else was your thoughts? Let me
Um, my thoughts is I feel like they should have showed the video of Austin Metcalf and them going in the tent. They should have spotlighted them as well in the tent. I do remember that on cross examination, Toby Shook had asked the forensic analyst if they spotlighted anyone under the tent, and from my recollection, he stated that he wasn't asked to by the prosecutor's office, only after Carmelo left the tent or what have you. But I just feel like that with everybody that testified, all of the teenagers, everybody testified that Austin Metcalf put his hands on Carmelo. And then when you listen to what Mike Howard told the jury in opening statements, he laid it out. He said that Eddie was on Carmelo's right, Austin was on the right, Hunter was in the front of him. And when you go back and you listen to the interview that Hunter said last year, he told the news that they came back, sat down at the tent. Somebody behind him said something before he knew who Carmelo was, said something, aggressive. He didn't say what it was. And he turned around and asked him, what did he say or whatever. That just goes to show you that Hunter was in the front or what have you. And I just feel like that when Mike talked about how Austin approached Carmelo while he's sitting down, Hunter stood up in front of him, and then the team stands up. I mean, that seems like a mob, like a mob is trying to attack you. And I feel like this is a, good old boys, Republican, Magatart County, where these white boys, these thugs, just think that they can, bully someone out of a place they don't want them to be. And I just feel like that, all of the mitigating factors with the epilepsy, the fact that he asked if he was okay, the fact that he went to a police officer, the fact that, and Nick, you was there when the prosecutor tried to make it seem like that he tried to escape the scene. Like he just went in there
right.
and then he stated specifically, and I got it from my notes, that Carmelo walked in the tent with the knife already open. And when the transcripts come out, that's what it's going to say, because that's what he told the jury. And I just feel like that, there's a lot of mitigating factors that Mike, did not argue. And then I remember when we were talking earlier about, during jury selections, a lot of the potential jurors, told, the judge, hey, I want to hear from the defendant. Like they wanted to hear his side of the story. And even one person that I reported during jury selection had stated that they didn't know if they would be able to find him not guilty if they didn't hear from him. And then I just feel like when you're claiming self-defense, that's what you want to tell your side of the story. You don't just want to rely on the prosecutor's evidence as if this is a drug case or this is a rape case or whatever. Excuse my language, but I just feel like that this was kangaroo court, and I hope that the attorneys, whoever's on his appeal, get they stuff together and pursue justice, because this was an injustice.
I have a
All right.
question
Thank
for
you so much.
Gerald. Before
Oh,
Gerald leaves, Neek, and
go ahead.
yourself, because you guys were both in the court. So are you guys, let's be clear for the record, the only uh, expert on the video that anyone heard from was the video expert that the prosecutor presented. Is that correct?
The only enhanced version of the video came from a person who was hired by the prosecution. Yes.
Right. So, and the defense never brought up any video expert. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, I mean, the fact that we are even having to chop up, find video after the fact, that we are even having to go through this. I mean, the only besides we looking at two things with Carmelo's case for him to stand a chance on getting an appeal. It is overwhelming evidence as it has been laid out now of ineffective assistance of counsel, because there's no way on God's green earth should, number one, the actual video of the event that took place at a stadium, right? Stadiums have the best playback cameras possible. There has got to be more videos besides what we're having to have somebody drop off of Twitter or to patch that somebody may have got from Meta Video. The mere fact that those attorneys, Mike Howard and Toby Shook, did not capture and subpoena every video that existed, from the video that's at the school district to the videos that stadium would have had. It is no way in the world should we be having to do what we're doing tonight and spice and slice and try to find footage had he had any kind of true legal representation. They should have subpoenaed everything. The fact that they didn't bring Hunter up to testify by subpoenaing, he should have been arrested for not coming when he had a subpoena. The fact that the defense didn't press that, and even looking at the video.
Wait, what do you mean that he didn't come with the subpoena?
See, Hunter should have been subpoenaed, and to my understanding, he was subpoenaed, but he didn't show up to court. When you don't show up to court and you have a subpoena, you're supposed to be arrested.
Yeah, I don't know that that's. I think that
the defense should have bought him.
I think that I don't think that the defense because they would have said on the record, hey, they would have put that on the record that he's like MIA or what is
right.
They never put that on the record.
Exactly.
So just because he was on the witness list doesn't mean that they were calling him as a witness, because sometimes
he should have been subpoenaed. Especially, he should have been, any decent attorney would have subpoenaed him. I know somebody, we know a comrade who allegedly his father helped him, when he was escaping from a charge. The prosecution subpoenaed this guy's father and had him come and testify in stuff that would incriminate his own son to go to prison. Any lawyer with any type of intent of getting their client any chance of proof should have subpoenaed Hunter. And to our understanding, he was one of the ones that was subpoenaed, but he didn't come, and they didn't press that issue.
There's a difference from being a person on the witness list that is possible to be subpoenaed.
I know there's a difference.
Yeah, he wasn't subpoenaed. He was just on the witness list.
He should have been subpoenaed.
Yeah, he was. Okay, yeah, I just want to clarify because
My whole point is
Yeah.
everybody, if Austin, and everybody knows that Austin was a key catalyst that actually have put his hands on Carmelo. Carmelo is telling everybody what happened to him. Mind you, he hasn't been in jail all this time up until this incident. So the daddy knows, the mama knows, the community knows what Hunter did, what Hunter and Austin did. So Hunter should have been subpoenaed from the start. If his attorneys didn't subpoena Hunter, that's ineffective assistance of counsel. He was a main protagonist. And to just have him as a witness list, I doubt that. And we need to look into that. If they only had him as a witness on the list and wasn't subpoenaed, I'm finding that hardly. I'm a person who's been involved in the movement and trials and stuff like that. I don't see somebody being a witness on a witness list and not being subpoenaed. And they didn't do that, that's ineffective. And if they did do it and didn't force him to come, that's still ineffective. Because Hunter is a key person.
Yeah, I think with Hunter, it's a gamble though, because number one, if you looked at the jury, they already were against the defense. All Hunter had to do, he could have got on that stand. If they would have put Hunter on the stand and started questioning him, if he would have just started breaking down in tears and crying uncontrollably, hyperventilating, that would have worked against them. So
it doesn't matter because that's being emotional. A lawyer that's being focusing on the facts of the case, they would understand.
Most of this trial was meant by, if you would have saw the reaction of the jury, it was not based on the facts. The kids were clearly lying. Right. It was based on tugging their emotional heartstrings.
Right. I understand that, and that's what we got to stop doing. And again, an effective attorney would allow that to go on. We've witnessed murder trials. It's not the first murder trial. We've witnessed manslaughter trials. Being a human, you in that court. Of course, the attorneys are going to allow the people who are family members to get those emotions out, but then they would zero in on the facts of the case and what's going on even with us. Sometimes in our community, as we're talking about what happened with Karmelo, we keep getting an emotional and having an emotional response instead of focusing on the facts of the case, the facts of how they played us, the facts of how they played the whole Black community, the facts of how this court played in our face. Because there's so many things that as far as the law is concerned, that should not have been a factor. The judge should not have taken the sentencing away from the jury. The judge should have given the jury the instructions on self-defense and not just what is that, crime of passion, because that's not a crime of passion situation. It's so many factors. Why did the Attorney General Ken Paxton have them keep that footage away from the school district had? No one should have had to go to the school district and see all of the footage, but it not be presented before the public. The fact that there are people who filed complaints with the Court of Appeals that trial be made public, and the Court of Appeals replied back real quickly in 2 weeks. Wow, that's funny, because when people got cases where their lives on the line, the Court of Appeals seems to take months and years to reply. It's so many things that are not right, and if we just slow down, and this is what we're going to have to do, community, we're going to need to slow down and come out of our emotions and just start laying out the facts of what took place and who can we hold accountable. The Attorney General can be held accountable.
I understand what you're saying, but like as a human, they could tell you the law black and white and say, hey, take your emotions out of it. Don't look at this. Don't look at that. If you're human, most of those people already had their minds made up. The only person that was really going to tip the scale for Karmelo was Karmelo. I understand that maybe they should have called Hunter, but I honestly think that was a big risk, because they already, if you saw the reaction to the jury, they were smug against the defense. you could tell that all of the older white women, they were looking and giving sympathy to the Metcalfs. They were like, they weren't crying, but they were like whimpering in their face. Like it was all
I
of
have our
emotion,
current
like
Otha
all
Wallace
of that.
actually killed the cop. Okay, Otha Wallace. Look at this case just happened last year before last. He actually killed this cop. The cop approached him in his car in the back of his apartment at night. The cop had no reason to be bothering him, and Otha defended himself, killed the cop. Right? That we had to raise a lot of money to get a defense for him, but that all the stuff happened. All the stuff that we're saying happened. The people are sitting there crying. You know, they showing they bought so many police out. I mean, all the things that would happen in the trial, but the attorneys, those attorneys went in on the facts. And yes, one big thing, because and Otto got up and spoke for himself about what happened, which was a risk. But the attorneys he had a team, and they laid out such a good defense on self defense. We did not have that in this case. I'm a person, and we are, I'm not a lay person, I guess, because being a New Black Panther Party, we go through so many cases, from lynchings to injustice to seeing attorneys throw cases to seeing the courts play games. We're not gonna, fall for the banana in the tailpipe. The only time people beat these cases is when you take the emotions out and you get to emotions are gonna be there as far as, when you're talking about, what's happening and the different jurors or the different people in the case. That's natural. That's gonna happen because you're talking about the loss of life. But a true defense, and there's a difference in attorneys who go in there and just throw you under the bus, who go in there and do a half-ass defense, and those who actually argue the law, those who actually present a real defense. Karmelo did not get a kindergarten defense, is what he got. He didn't. He got a bubble gum defense, is what he got. He did not get a true defense from attorneys who brought in all the factors and weighed in the factors. And and the narrative needs to be, we as far as getting him out, we're gonna have to really change the narrative because and really get down to the facts of this case, because this is setting a precedent in Texas as it relates to self-defense.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you real quick, Gerald. What did you want to hop in and say?
I wanted to respond to Miss Crystal. Because I get what you're saying, and I do get what Miss Crystal is saying. But the thing about it is that they could have called Hunter and treated him as a hostile witness, but he has a right to the Fifth Amendment, and the judge will have to have compelled him to testify under a subpoena because he has a right to remain silent. And I just don't think Judge Roach would have made him get up on that stand to testify if the defense did call him. And then another thing, the prosecution was the one that was inflaming the jury. They had wanted to put in 2 exhibits that showed Austin right after he had got stabbed, Nick, and the judge only allowed them to put in 1. And the moment that this lady, because the jury was on the left side, the Metcalf family was right there. They could just turn their head to the right and they'll be looking at them. This lady in the back, when she saw the picture, she looked like she was about to, it's not funny, but it's just like, it's crazy. She looked like she was about to burst out into tears. And I was like, oh my gosh, this case is just about to go. But just to piggyback off of what you said is that, they could have called Hunter, but I don't think Judge Roach would have allowed it.
Well, that would have been a motion for, listen, even if he didn't allow it, that would be grounds for appeal. Because we talking about a trial, then we talking about an appeal. And if you had a witness that the judge didn't allow that to be grounds, because I asked his dad, I think you want to call, did Hunter put his hands on Karmelo? His dad says yes. Hunter put his hands on Karmelo. Those boys put their hands on Karmelo. This was everybody's not talking about. He was getting jumped, gang jumped. He had the right to self-defense. Many of those boys who testified actually put their hands on Karmelo up under that tent. That's why they're being so careful not to get this video out, the full video, because we will find out that those guys was all they jumped this young man.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you, Crystal, real quick, because there's I'm gonna get some other people in as well, because there is like a lot of people backstage. Kim Finity, let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna pull some other people up, and I'm gonna filter through just a second. Ken Finity, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
All right, what's good? Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm gonna just say this. Like, do I think Carmelo got a fair trial? I don't think he did. But if you really pay attention and look at the video, from what I see, like I don't know what y'all see or nothing like that, but from what I seen, I think I'm just going out about by what I seen. I think it looked like the dude Austin was like sitting down type shit, right? And
Well,
Carmelo.
none of the even though there was a bunch of different testimonies and different versions, not one of them said that Austin was sitting down.
Oh, I'm just saying, like from what I seen or from what I'm looking at or whatever, it looked like dude was sitting down, and it did look like he pushed Carmelo first, but
It
it
looked
do
like
look like,
who was sitting down, because Austin wasn't sitting down.
or probably he probably was on the bleacher under from what Carmelo was standing up at. So it looked like Carmelo.
Carmelo was never standing up until he jumped out of the tent. He was sitting down the whole time. And that was
Oh,
testified
okay.
to by every single student.
Well, yeah, okay. But my thing is like I'm a black dude. We been in situations like that, especially when it's involving like sports, like we competitors. That's the type of shit we do. We argue, hell, we even squabble it out. But for him to like pull out the knife or clean or whatever the fuck they calling it, like that's
All right,
like
wait,
to
I'm
me
gonna pause
like
you. I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause you. I want to hear what you are gonna say, but please watch the curse words. Um, YouTube
my
trips off
bad.
of like a whole bunch of curse words. So it
Yeah,
just
my
clean up.
bad.
Yeah, just I want to hear
I
what
ain't
you're
gonna be
saying.
too long though.
Yeah,
I
just
ain't gonna
clean
be
up
too long,
all
but
of the curse words and all of that.
yeah, I got you. But yeah, like I say, like it look like dude, like he shouldn't have like pulled out the knife low key, like I don't think it didn't look like he was getting jumped because if he was getting jumped, he wouldn't have got up out of there that quick. Like it looked like it was just some 1-on-1 type of deal. Like they probably was popping it, you know what I mean, talking they whatever, and dude just pulled a knife out and stuck him, jugged him with that mug. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying it's right, but as men, like as little boys and that like that's what we do. But
Okay,
for
you go.
to
You come on now. No more curse. You
I'm just saying, like, that's what we do. I know women, they get emotional about it or whatever. We done squabbled we squabbled during the game. But for him to like use the weapon, that's where it kind of is like, why you just didn't use your hands? So for him to try to get a pill off of him using the weapon and like that, like I don't think he gonna get the appeal just off him using a weapon and the weapon end up stabbing dude in the heart and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he probably did fear for his life or whatever. But
so you think that murder one was the correct charge? Is that what you're saying?
nah, I don't think he
So
intentionally
he
did it on purpose. Nah, I don't think
so
he
then
did,
he
but
by that he should get an appeal because he did not intentionally.
somebody died though. That's like my that's like my son if that was to happen to one of my
But
kids
do
or
you
whatever. Cause
think
I
that it could have been a different charge, maybe manslaughter, a lesser
yeah,
charge?
for sure.
Okay, so then an appeal would be the correct course, correct? Because murder one would be the inappropriate charge, correct?
That's true.
So there's a difference. I just want you to be clear when you're saying, "Oh, I don't think he's going to get appeal," or "I don't think he should get an appeal." The appeal is for the correct charge to be applied. Murder
But they
one isn't
but
the
they
correct
gonna
charge.
they still gonna deny the appeal though. They're gonna deny it.
They
Uh,
are.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. I'm in Houston. This happens all the time. Like this nothing new. People go to jail or whatever for crimes they ain't do. I mean, that's just how they roll out here. Even though, you know what I'm saying, they try to use the law or whatever, but they gonna deny his appeal even if it's manslaughter. They not gonna let him walk, or they not gonna lower his sentence just because it's a white dude and he used a weapon. Like, throw your
But he
hands.
has
Like,
other issues on appeal that he can raise as well, such as him having no black jurors and them striking three black educators, but leaving another educator on the jury who is not of a black race. I mean, there are other issues that could be raised other than just the incorrect charge as well. You know,
but I'm
like
just saying, like, we ain't new to this, though. This what they been doing from the beginning of whatever it is. I don't know why people
brother
thought.
So
Kenneth,
because
brother Kenneth,
so
you have an
I don't know why
opportunity.
people. Hold
Brother
on.
Kenneth,
I
you
don't
have an
know.
opportunity to learn something right now because you're in
Hold
Houston,
on.
right? I'm gonna give
I'm
you an
just
example in
saying.
Houston. I want to tell you
All
an
right.
example in Houston, all right? Have you ever heard of Clarence Bradley? There's a case right
Nah.
here in Houston. Look that case up in Houston, Texas. It was a man on death row named Clarence Bradley. He got off on appeal because of the all-white jury situation. This is why a lot of stuff that we might think, but there's law, and that's
What
what
was he
like
charged for though?
it was for murder. They killed him of murder. He was accused of murder.
He
Look
murdered
that
a white
case up.
dude.
Yes, look the case up. A white lady, Clarence Bradley. That case, there are many cases that have been won on appeal. There, so this is why we saying when we come out of what we sometimes we think something,
How
and
long he
sometimes we
sat in
might
jail
feel
though?
a long
all right,
time.
I
I'm gonna pause.
then. That's
Look it
what
up.
that is.
I'm
Right.
gonna
Look
pause
it up
both of
though.
you. Wait, I'm gonna pause both of you.
I'm gonna
Sky,
go ahead and go off.
okay.
Hey,
Thank you,
hey,
Crystal,
Nick.
for coming on. I just
Oh,
want to
sorry.
give other people the opportunity because it's a lot of people just waiting on the backstage to also talk. Skylife, go ahead.
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
The last time I was here, I said to you, I saw people were trying to make you feel weird about the situation with the racism you experienced. I also experienced a life-changing racist incident, so it does happen. So do not let anybody make you feel weird about it. They just haven't experienced it. Kenneth, I have a question for you. If you're in Texas, what does open carry mean?
What you mean? Like we can have our gun on us in public?
Okay, so if
But
you can have a
you gotta have
gun,
a permit though. You gotta have a permit.
okay, so if you could have a gun, then you could have a knife as well, correct? Kenneth, can you hear me?
He should be able to. I don't know.
Okay, well let me continue talking. Um, in regards to me watching that video, it's very upsetting to me because when you see that tent, how open it was, and how many people were under there, there is no reason why Carmelo could not be under that tent. No reason at all. So for them to try and push him out of the tent it's just pure racism. And I don't understand why people. The last time I was on here, the lady was mentioning the timeline. If you go by the timeline, there's no possible way that Carmelo can be the aggressor. You have to go one, two, three. If you go in order, you clearly see that he could not be the aggressor. And Kenneth, oh, he's gone. If you haven't experienced a racist incident or experienced that sickening feeling that clearly Neek has experienced, I have experienced,
Yeah, I'm
please
back. My
don't
bad,
talk
y'all.
about what somebody should do in their
I think
defense.
Kenneth feels like because it happened before that we should just continue to allow it. So it's just like when segregation happened, like just because there once was a whites only drinking fountain and a black only drinking fountain, we supposed to just let it happen. Like that seems like that's what Kenneth's mindset is like, oh, this is what they do
Nah,
anyway. So like it's just gonna
nah, that ain't
let's
my
just
mindset,
let's just
But
keep it how they normally do us. Like
bro. I'm speaking in terms of a black man. Like Y'all women, I understand y'all be emotional and stuff like that, but
No, you can't play the emotion card. This comes down to having
do
the
you know how
right to
many we
defend
get
yourself.
jumped? Like it's nothing that we get jumped. Like that's what
Okay, so if
happens.
you get
That's what
jumped, does that
happened.
mean you don't have the right to defend yourself? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
with
telling
my
us?
yes, with my hands. What are you talking about?
You can't start a fight with someone, sir, and then determine how they respond. It doesn't go like that.
With a
Once a
knife?
fight happens, it's a fight. Whatever that
Come on,
person
bro.
needs to do to defend themselves is what's going to
If you that
happen.
scared, gone run. Don't even try to get into no
But
altercation.
you can only speak for yourself. You can't speak for what that man was going through. Clearly, they
So if
said they
some
was.
so if if somebody trying to throw hands with you, gonna pull a gun out and shoot them.
If it's more than one person, and if it's a race, I mean, you got to
How
look
you
at
know it
all
was?
the elements of the situation. You
How
just
you know it was
can't.
more than one person?
Oh my God!
Okay,
Did you
I
hear
feel
anything
like
that Nick
he's trolling
said?
at this
Yeah,
point.
he
Yeah,
He's
you
trolling at
tripping.
this point.
Yeah.
Is it I say 2 times? What's your thoughts?
First I want to say, Nick, I'm so glad you're feeling better
Thank
because
you.
that overt racism is not something that a lot of us like California. I know you live in California. I live in the Northeast. We don't deal with that.
Right.
And I know that had to be a lot. So I'm glad you're feeling better. But you were in the courtroom and the medical examiner expressed that um that the knife went in sideways.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is running at you full speed and does this lineman uh drill push that they described in court, your arms are first of all are automatically going to go up, and um if you're I mean, if somebody pushes you, your arms automatically go up, first of all. But second of all, when someone is running at you full speed, you're going to put your arms up in defense, period. So Hunter running full speed at Karmelo with his, I mean, he's going to put his hands up in defense.
Right.
Austin,
I'm gonna pause you real quick. Somebody said, "Speak for yourself." I'm from Cali, and there's definitely racism, just different. That's exactly what she said. She's talking about overt racism versus
versus
a
covert.
different type of racism. We're clear that it's different.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. But somebody running at you full speed, your first instinct is to put your hands up. Austin propelled himself towards that knife, period. I mean, like, Carmelo didn't have to put any pressure to it because he's running at him full speed. When you get pushed, your arms automatically go up. I'm sorry, but he kind of caused his own death. I know people don't like to hear it, but I mean, if I say, uh, touch me and see what happens, that is a warning. That's not a invitation to come and
right.
put your hands on me.
Right. That's why they needed, just like when you have gang trials, they have a gang expert. There needed to be a cultural expert on the stand to explain the different nuances from the Black community in our phrases and our terms. You had a majority white jury with Asian and Middle Eastern. Neither one of them are of our culture. The Asians that were on the jury are white adjacent and think that they're closer to the white side, and so are those Middle Eastern individuals as well. So in any trial, like a gang trial, like the YNW Melly trial or the YSL trial. They all put on a gang expert to give context to what certain phrases mean in a gang, what certain things mean in a gang. And in this case, the fact that they didn't have a cultural expert to give the white and white adjacent jurors context on Black culture was a miscarriage of justice in itself. Karmelo not speaking was a miscarriage of justice in his own defense. And his lawyer was purposely, in my opinion, annoying the jurors. He always kept getting this big water bottle. He would take it like it was a big one of those big Yetis or big, water bottles. He would flip up the top each time he about to ask a question. He would flip up the top, get it. You could hear he get the water. He would take a sip. He would flip it closed. And then we all sitting here like, what is this whole build up? And then he would ask a question, they would answer, and then before he asked his next question, he would get the big old water bottle. It was like this big. He would get it, and then he would flip that top up. He would sip it again, and I seen one of the guys at the jury looking at him like, because I'm looking at him too, like, you ain't even asked enough to be out of, you know what I mean, like. You knew that it was about to come to you. Why you didn't sip your water before it came to your side? He would do it all the time, and I'm like, why is he doing this? Like, it would be so annoying. I'm like, is he purposely trying to annoy the jurors? It was ridiculous.
On top of that, he would ask a question or make a statement, but he didn't follow up on it, or like even when he asked the jurors, is this murder? First of all, he wasn't supposed to be asking children that, but or when he said Karmelo has epilepsy, or Karmelo likes camping, like, you never tied that into the case or followed up on it or tied it all together. Like, what are you doing?
No, not at all. Not at all. But thank you. I say 2 times. Let me go to Amara. What's your thoughts, Amara?
Hey, Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So first, I want to say I love your channel. I love your content.
Thank you.
I've been watching you for a very long time.
Thank
I
you.
do think I am a little upset because I think I was blocked because I have a difference of opinion, and this is the first time that you and I have actually had like a different opinion in like a different in like a situation or a video that you've done. Um, so my thing is, so first I do want to ask, was that the first time that they had met?
Yeah,
Carmelo and the one who lost his life. That was the first time they had ever met.
according to testimony, correct.
Okay,
They both
so
they both played. Okay, so let me be clear about this. They both were on the track team. We saw a picture of Karmelo and Eddie sitting on the bench at a track meet 10 days prior. So clearly the teams have interacted prior to, but according to the testimony, that was their first time meeting. That was their first time knowing of him, even though in their trial, when Eddie testified, they showed us a picture of Eddie and Karmelo sitting on a track bench together. Karmelo had on gray, Eddie had on yellow. They were sitting on the bench, and it was 10 days prior to April 2nd. So, but according to the testimony, that was their first time meeting.
okay. So that makes a difference. I think that makes a big difference in like the case and like intent and stuff like that, like showing if there was like intention behind what he did. Um, so obviously there was no intention behind what happened. Um, but my thing is, I feel like, oh, I done lost my train of thought,
Can
and
you
I had
cut
so
off
much to say.
whatever is in your
Oh,
background?
let me turn my TV down. I'm sorry. Okay, I
Yeah,
muted
and
it.
it's important to go by the facts that was entered into the case and not like make
Right.
up our own theories
Right,
about
definitely, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So I feel like when it comes to self-defense, within the law, self-defense means that you feel like your life was actually about to get taken. So it's either a me or you situation. It's not we were fighting and I did this and now he's lost his life. That's not self-defense. People fight all the time and they fight and they get it over with and they're done with the fight. People get jumped. I've been jumped multiple times in high school. I didn't pull out any weapon to do anything. So that's not self-defense. I'm still here. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have fought in high school,
Have
in
you?
this chat.
I'm gonna pause you. I want to hear everything that you're saying, but
Okay.
I think a lot of people talk about anecdotal experiences. Oh, it never happened to me, so therefore you just cancel out every possibility. Now, last year alone, I, as a content creator, heard several stories of individuals who had fights at school that there was no weapon involved and they died. I went to a
Go,
school.
Nick.
And
I
that
went
would
to
be
a school.
manslaughter. That would be manslaughter. That's not murder.
What
That's
would be
not murder
manslaughter?
one. Now, if Carmelo had hit him and he fell and broke his neck or something, or he fell and hit his head and he died, that's manslaughter. He didn't mean to kill him. But if he had the weapon on his person, now if he saw the weapon sitting on a bleacher or something, and it was just sitting there, and he picked it up in the heat of the moment and did what he did, that would be one thing. But if he had the weapon on his person already and he went to the function with the weapon on him, that's where it comes in. That's where the murder one comes in because you can't
No, it's
say because why did he have it on him? Why did he take it there? And then this is like let me say this to Neek. Neek, if you're sitting in a public restaurant at a table with your people and I come sit at your table and I don't say anything to you and I'm just sitting there and you're like, excuse me, can you get up and leave, please? Like we don't know you. Why are you sitting here? And I'm not moving. I'm still being the aggressor because I'm not moving. So, what's it called? Passive aggression is still aggression. Just because I'm
Nick, can
not
I say
moving and I'm
something,
not doing
please?
anything to you or putting my hands on you, that's still me being aggressive. Because if you say, "Excuse me, could you please leave?" Like, what? Could you go? We don't know you, and I'm still sitting there, and you choose to do whatever you do,
So
and
if
I
you
and I get
sit,
like
wait,
something.
pause.
Hmm.
So if you sit at my table, I don't know you. You're being aggressive by not leaving. What am I being when I put my hands on you? That's not being aggressive. When you didn't put your hands on me, all you did was not leave, but I
Well,
put my
no.
hands on you. Is
Well,
that
I'm
me
not
not
saying
being
what,
aggressive?
but I feel like you wouldn't just put your hands on me. You would, as an
No.
as a
We
mature
can't.
adult.
No. No. We're talking about teenagers
But
that
if
were
you
17.
did, If you did, yes, that would be you being aggressive also, but we would both be at fault. In this situation, they were both at fault. I'm not saying the other guy was not at fault at like with nothing at all. He should not have put his hands on him. He should not have. But at the same time, Carmelo should not have pulled whatever he had in his on his person out and did what he did. Both of them were wrong. I'm not saying that it was right, but someone mature would say, like, if it was you, I'm pretty sure you would say, you know what, let
But
me get let me get a waiter.
we can't think about if it was me. I'm 39 years old. I'm not 17. This
Even
was
as a
17 years old.
okay, and even then, like I said, both of them, I already said both of them were wrong. I'm not saying he deserved. I'm not saying that he should have put his hands on him. No, he shouldn't have. But they both handled the situation wrong. But in the eyes of the law, we have to go by what the law says.
Can you
They were
pull up
not
the
going
law?
to.
Read the law instead of, because it sounds like you're giving your own interpretation of what you think the law
mhm.
says.
No, I'm
What is the
saying
actual law in Texas for
okay.
self?
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, read
And let
the
me
The
exact.
law says
Can I
that
say something
bodily
next?
harm or threat of bodily harm is self defense.
But this is the thing, though. The thing about it is, Amara, is the fact that murder one is like you have to. It's just like you have the forethought that you was gonna kill this person. That's just like if you find out that your baby daddy is cheating on you, and you say, "Oh, and you plan it out. You go straight to his house with butcher knives and everything after you just found out he cheated on you, and you kill him. That is murder one. When
But
you're
it
in a
also says. It also says the level of force that you use must be matched to the threat. Therefore, they were using their hands. He should have used
Wait,
his
wait,
hands.
wait, wait, wait.
Also,
I
where
want
were
you
the rest
to
of his
read. Wait,
teammates?
pause.
Mm-hmm.
Read the actual law, not your
I
interpretation or
that's
your
no, that's what I'm
summary.
reading. It says proportionality, the level
Protection.
of force.
Protected.
Proportionality is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Texas Self
Are you
Defense
reading
Law,
the
Texas
Texas
Penal
law?
Code, Chapter 9, justifies using force if you reasonably believe it is immediately necessary to protect against someone's unlawful force. The law requires the force used to be proportional to the threat, and you cannot use force in response to verbal provocation alone. So what it says is the level of force you use must be matched to the threat. For example, you cannot use the deadly force for a simple push or to stop someone yelling at
No,
you.
no. You just added your own words
No,
in there.
I did not add that. It says that right here, proportionality.
No,
It also
Proportionality.
says
you can't
multiple
put you
people.
wait, pause. The part that you added in there was the part that said you cannot meet a push with a you just added that in
No,
there.
I'm reading it from Google. It says proportionality. That's honest. I don't have to make up anything.
No, I'm
I'm
not
Not
actually
talking
reading
wrong.
about
it.
the proportionality part. I'm talking about when you started ad-libbing.
No, let me read it again. The level of force you use must be matched to the threat. For example, it says this on the page on my phone. For example, you cannot use deadly force for a simple push or to stop someone yelling at you. That is what it says on the thing. The initial aggressor. You generally cannot claim self-defense if you instigated the confrontation or if you were engaged in the crime. There was no crime that he engaged in, but
Yes, it
like I
was.
said,
Yes, it
no,
was a crime.
I'm talking about. No,
My
I'm
God.
saying
Can I please say something when you get a chance,
that's not.
please?
You're not listening. You're just listening to respond, not to listen, to understand. The
It
initial
was clearly a
aggressor.
crime being committed
I'm talking
against
about
Carmelo.
Carmelo. Carmelo was not committing a crime, is what I said. He was not committing a crime
Yeah,
when he pulled
Austin
out the knife.
was. That's
Right.
the
And you
point.
can't
Carmelo
right.
was
And
not Carmelo was
you
not
cannot
committing a
wait,
crime when he pulled the knife out. Is what I
pause.
said. I'm
Austin was
bruh.
at the grind. What are you talking about? Austin was committing a
Sweetie, you're not
crime against
I said
Carmelo.
Carmelo. I said Carmelo multiple times. I said Carmelo was not committing a crime at the time when he pulled the knife
Yes,
out.
so he shouldn't be charged. It's self
Sweetie, that doesn't
defense.
you're not listening. No,
So what
everyone
is your
else is
No,
position?
you're
But
not
you.
listening.
Bruh, you're
You're
not listening.
clearly not listening,
Neat, do you hear what
and
I'm
your reading
saying?
comprehension is low.
Neat, but you heard what I said, right, Neat? Because she's not listening. She's the only one saying something back because she's not listening.
I would
Neat,
like
but
to
you
say
heard what I
something
said,
because
though.
you're
The
you're
reading
very
Oh,
wrong.
comprehension is low.
pause. Everybody pause. All right. Amara, can you pull up the actual penal code and not Google summary, like the actual code and
Okay,
not
I'm
like
going to click
Google
on the
summary?
link.
Because
I'm
it
going
sounds
to
like you're
Texas.
reading
It
like
says,
an AI generated summary. We need the
I'm on,
actual penal
okay,
code.
I'm listening. I'm on texas.org. Hold on, let me tell you the site. It says texas.org. This is the actual government site. Subchapter C, protection of persons. It says section 9, self-defense. Okay, so let me read it. Oh, I don't think I need to. Hold on. This is not even all this extra stuff.
Yeah, that's the law. Read it.
Okay,
Read
so,
that.
okay. Let me go back to the top.
And please start with it saying that Texas is an open carry state.
That doesn't mean that you can carry a knife to a school event.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means.
It's Texas Penal Code 9.32.
9.31. is what I'm seeing. Self-defense.
Okay, go to Texas Penal Code 9.32.
32. Okay, hold on. Let me go down.
If the knife was
Okay, right
illegal, he would
here.
have been charged with that, ma'am.
It says section 9.32, deadly force in defense of persons. A person is justified in using deadly force against another. If the actor would be justified in using force against the other under section 9.31, and when to the degree the actor reasonably believes the deadly force is immediately necessary. A, to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful deadly force. So if they were trying to kill him, then that's
No,
okay.
no. You added. Just read it.
Yeah, that
You
part I just added.
ad lib.
Okay, but B,
Yes.
to
Don't
prevent.
add.
I was
Don't
just
ad
I was just
lib.
adding that just for the people who not understanding what it said. But B, to prevent the other's imminent commission of aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault. But I don't want to say that. I'm not sorry. I don't
Just
want to say
say
that. I'm not
SA.
gonna say
Just
that.
say SA.
Okay, SA, aggravated SA, robbery or aggravated robbery. B, the actors believe under subsection A2 that the deadly force was immediately necessary as described by the subdivision and is presumed to be reasonably if the actor one knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the deadly force was used was either A, unlawfully and with force entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully with which force with with force the actors occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. B, unlawfully and with force remove or was attempting to remove unlawfully and with force the actor from the actor's habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. Or C, was committing or attempting to commit an offense described by subsection A to B. Two, did not provoke the person against whom the force was used. And three, was not otherwise engaged in criminal activity, which is what I was saying earlier. He was not engaged in criminal activity. When he put the knife out, they were just fighting. Other than Class C misdemeanor, that is a violation of law of ordinance regulating traffic at the time the force was used. A person who has a right to be present at the location where the deadly force is used, who has not provoked the person against whom is the deadly force is used, and who is not engaged in criminal activity at the time of the deadly force is used, is not required to retreat before using deadly force as described by this section. You want me to keep going?
No, you can stop there.
Okay. So that's pretty much what I said on the Google page. You can't. It has to be proportionate to the crime. I mean, to what's happening. You can't just pull out a weapon and then that's not self defense in the eyes of the law. Now we might feel at the time that it's happening to us that we might, you know what I mean. Obviously emotions are heightened at the time. I wasn't there, but what I'm saying is, in the eyes of the law, we have to go by what the law says.
All right,
Okay,
so
I need to say, can
wait,
I say something?
Let me, and then I'll let y'all. And there's several people also backstage that's not even on the stage. Monica, let Lisa, Sabre, OG, Patrice. I'm gonna go to y'all as well. But let me just say this, right? So you're saying that per the law that you just read, that
Hmm.
the major component was proportionality, right? So
Correct.
also when you're reading this, I'm not a person that just goes off of what the kids said that Karmelo provoked it, because all their testimony shows that he did not provoke this, in my opinion. Now, moving past that, if you take every single witness testimony, even though they all varied, there was several kids that were all speaking to Karmelo at the same time. There were several kids that were laughing at him, taunting him. The person that he went to go dap up, Eddie, was also egging it on, saying, "Oh yeah, you got something in the thing." So in his mind, who are you to say what proportion he felt was going to happen next based on it was him against a whole track team under that tent? So
And my question to that is,
how can you?
where was the rest of his teammates? And I know you said don't use anecdotal situations, but I've been on teams before. If I felt I was in danger, my team, if it was my team, me against the other team, they would my teammates would jump up and be like, "What's up? We can all fight. That's what teams do. They all fight together. It's not
Okay,
just
so
pull
I'm
out
about.
your weapon and do this."
Wait. Let me pause you. So, if you didn't pay attention to the testimony, and you're not aware, Karmelo and a few kids that were on the track team went by bus that morning. There were two buses that were from his school. The first bus was a very few amounts of kids on it, including Karmelo. They did not have enough kids to even put up their tent, which is why they didn't have their own tent. So at the time, Karmelo was on varsity and there was JV running at the time. Karmelo was needed in the morning, but the first people that were told to like warm up at the time that Karmelo was under the tent were JV teammates. His JV teammates were on the field. Okay. So if you looked at the testimony when the defense got their case in chief, there was students who testified that they were on the field and they were warming up and they were about to race. And Karmelo was not slated to race in their group. So Karmelo was by himself while the other people from the school were coming and transporting on the second bus. And the second bus had the tent with all of the other students. And before they got there, this incident happened because they did not have a tent. And that's what the testimony is. So just let's go off of, the actual testimony. It wasn't a situation where his whole team was there and they could jump up and get and have his back. The JV students that were playing track were on the field. We saw surveillance of one of the students and all of them lining up, and they were on the field. So just so that we have the clear.
Okay, so can I ask you a question, Nick? In your honest opinion, be honest. Do you feel that he would have got up and left if he didn't have the knife on him? If he would have got up and moved? Do you feel that he would have got it? If he did not have the weapon on him, do you feel that he would have got up and left when they asked him to?
I can't speak to that. I don't know what he would have did.
And that's the thing. With a jury, you're human. The jurors are human also. So you can't say, but what we do know is that when you have protection on you, when you have something on you that you feel like is like, oh, I can get you, you're gonna act a different way than what you would do if you did not have it on you. We know that for a fact as humans.
Why?
Amara,
Can I please interject, please? Why does anyone carry a weapon, Amara? A gun or anything?
But why do you need to protect? I wouldn't. But why?
No. And please answer my
question. For protection. But why do you need to protect yourself from at a track event?
Because how do you know where
it's not illegal?
But also you don't know where you're going to need to use a weapon. Texas is an open carry state. See, what gets on my nerves is people like you come up here and you ignore the facts and the elements at hand. It is an open carry state, so it was a lot of weapons out there. Okay, you just
my question
so
and
Karmelo had please let me finish. Karmelo has the right to carry his weapon. Okay, that's just it.
But
wait,
but let me say this. Let me say this just to that point. I just want to say this just to that one point.
Let me finish,
please. Go ahead.
Austin had no authority over Karmelo. There's no reason why Austin would have to leave that tent. Okay, that he had no authority over Karmelo in which he needed to leave that tent. The proper thing to do, Austin should have went and got a teacher, or he should have got a security guard to move him. So he has no authority over Karmelo to move. So how was Karmelo wrong for not moving?
They were both wrong. So he wasn't wrong. They were both wrong for what they did.
How are you wrong when you're sitting? Do you understand that if it's me and you? And I walk up to you and I push you, that's an assault, ma'am. If I come up to you and spit on you, that's an assault. They didn't charge Austin or Hunter for the assault. That's an automatic assault. Do you understand that?
So let me ask Nick something. Nick, was there one tent per team, or was that the one tent for everyone to be under? I'm asking Nick because she was in the courtroom.
There was a tent for each school. I think.
Okay, so why couldn't he go to his own tent?
Why can't he sit there and be a human?
Girl, come on now.
Pause. Per the testimony, Karmelo, and listen, Amara, because this is what I just explained to you, right? So, per the testimony, there was a morning bus that Karmelo got on. It was only a few students on the bus. It was not the full track team. Because they were in a rush to get to the stadium, Karmelo, on the bus that he arrived in, they did not have the tent. The bus that was the second bus that had not made it to the stadium had their tent. They did not have enough people to put the tent together. So the bus that had the tent was the second bus with the full team. So when this situation happened, Carmelo Anthony's school did not have their own tent. Every other school had a tent except for Carmelo Anthony's school, because the people of his school that had the tent were on their way. But before you respond, I want Crystal to
Mm-hmm.
read the actual law, because she said she pulled it up and it said something different. So Crystal, go ahead.
Yes. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna read the law, and I'm gonna. Okay. Texas Penal Code 9.32. Okay. Deadly force in defense of a person. A person is justified in using deadly force against another if the actor was justified in using force against another under Section 9.31, when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes that deadly force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against others' use or attempted use of
That's what
unlawful
I just
deadly
read.
force, or to prevent the other from the imminent commission of aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual essay, aggravated essay, robbery, aggravated robbery. The actor believes that deadly force is imminently necessary as described in section subdivision and is presumed to be reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the deadly force is being used unlawfully and used force entered or attempted to enter unlawful and with force. The actor occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. Let's stop right there. Okay.
That's what I
Place
just
of
read. That's the
business.
same thing I read.
Wait a minute. Let me finish, please. Place of business. Okay. Carmelo had the right to be where he was at. This was, they were in the business of a track event in which Carmelo was not only a participant, he was the captain of the track team. Let's keep that into perspective. Not only was he the captain of the track team, he was the captain of the football team. So there was, and I think that the young brother alluded to this earlier. There was a lot of animosity perceived going on right here. This, what you just said about proportion, nowhere in this law does it state proportion. It
It's on
also,
there. It's just not.
it's
You just
not,
didn't read that
it is
part. You
not.
didn't get to it, but it's on
Wait a minute,
there.
wait a minute. I can read. There is this section 9.32 has one, two, three paragraphs in several sections, and I can read all of it, but not one of it is going to say proportion. I can read the whole thing if y'all want me to, but the word proportion is never used
But
in this
that's one of
law.
the principles. That's one of the core
It's
principles
not.
of the law.
It
That's
is
one of the
not.
core principles.
It is not.
It
You're
says
making.
if you go to the
It
law
is not.
office of, if
It
you
is
go
not.
to, I can tell you the
Hold
website
on,
to go to, and then it'll tell you.
Amara. It is not a core principle. It is not a law.
Okay,
And in
I'm
fact,
reading it, but okay.
okay, you can read it, but it's not here. And it also goes on to say, let me go to the section where it says you are not supposed to retreat. You don't have to retreat. It says under section 3.2, paragraph 2, where it says, uh, did not provoke the person against whom force was used and was not otherwise engaged in criminal activity or other than a Class C misdemeanor as a violation of an ordinance. Was talking about traffic stops. Um, Okay, then it also goes on to say a person who has the right to be present at the location where the deadly force is used, who has not provoked the person against whom the deadly force is used, and who is not engaged in criminal activity at the time of the deadly force is used, and not required to retreat before using deadly force as described by this section. Carmelo had the right to be in that location. He was conducting business. That was an official track meet. A person
And that's
cannot.
fine.
Let me please, Amara. I'm not interrupting you. Let me finish. I did not interrupt. Okay, he had the right to be there. They were conducting business. He did not have the right to retreat. I mean, he did not have to retreat, and he was not the provoker. This is one of the reasons why they kept trying to allude over and over that Karmelo was provoking. No, Karmelo had the right. This is basically this section point 32. This is what we call the stand your ground law. Okay. The 3.1 that comes before that is the castle doctrine. Okay. So he had the right to stand his ground. He had the right to defend himself. And in fact, if he felt like his life was in danger. Okay. Now, one other point, the knife. Okay, that was been testimony, and I don't know if it was presented in court, but it was said, not testimony, but people have said, and I don't know if it was presented in court, that it wasn't an actual knife, that it was one of those tools, those like the Swiss Army knife that's got the different little tools on it. Even if that was the case, but you can defend yourself with the weapon if you feel, and you can use deadly force if you feel that your life was in danger. I heard testimony.
His life wasn't in danger
I
though.
heard, I heard,
They would have beat him
I
up.
heard,
That would have
I
been
heard,
it.
I heard secondhand
Beating
testimony.
somebody up isn't your life in danger.
Amara,
That's not
wait a minute,
self
Amara.
defense.
Come on, lady, or whatever you are. Let me finish what I'm saying, then you can go. Okay, so I don't know that because we were outside of the courthouse, we were not allowed to go in. Okay, so everything that we're getting is from what was reported back from Nick or other people. But we were told that when Austin ran up and hit Karmelo, he had him by his collar. Like he hit him like a lineman hit, had him by his collar. That's in this state. I know people went to jail because that's called strangulation. That's using
He wasn't that's not strangulation.
that would have been a deadly move against Karmelo. If this man
So
jumped
he
off
was
the
gonna die
ledge,
from getting hit, from getting
I'm
punched.
saying, let me finish what I'm saying.
There has been people who have died in a fight. There was several people. I was in middle school and there was a boy that died. He fell after he had a fight and he died. There's people who fought and had undisclosed heart conditions. There's people who fought and hit their head on the sink in the bathroom. There's people that fought and hit their head on the concrete or broke their neck a certain way. There's people who, like, you don't have to have a weapon to die in a fight. Having a fight is a dangerous life or death thing, whether you have a weapon or not. So you keep saying his life wasn't in danger. They were on bleachers. It was slippery. It was wet outside. It was all of these elements that added to it. He was outnumbered. He already suffered from epilepsy. He had seizures. He also, what they testified to was he had a shoulder injury and he was supposed to have physical therapy that day, but instead of going to physical therapy, he went to his track meet. So there's all of these other elements that add to it that you're acting like, oh, well, he would have been okay. You don't know that.
You ignored him.
I'm not saying he would have been okay. I said both of them were wrong in the situation. Did I not say that? I said they were both wrong.
No,
everyone was wrong in the situation.
That he would have been all right. He would have just got beat up.
But I also said he was wrong. I said both of them was wrong. I said that. I said that multiple times. They were both wrong. They both handled the situation wrong. Neither one of them should have put hands on the other one. Neither one of them should have been. But there was no point for him to have a weapon. There was no point. If you felt like you needed the weapon, then you should just leave. If you feel like you need to take a weapon out and do something with somebody, then you should leave first instead of using the weapon. I'm not gonna use a weapon if I know I can just walk up. I'm in an open space. I live in New York, but I'm from Texas, but I just moved to New York. But I am from Texas.
Okay, number one, that's you though. That's you because a lot of people carry weapons.
Wait, pause. Wait. Everybody pause. Somebody is talking.
A lot of people in Texas carry.
Pause, Crystal. Pause. Okay. Sancho, is that you with something playing in the background? Because while they're talking, there's another voice going on.
You said that's me. When I was in Texas, I had an open carry weapon, a permit. I had a permit. I carried it everywhere. That doesn't mean I'm just ready to take it out and just off somebody just because they look at me crazy. No,
but you have it in case you need it.
Not the case, though.
Correct.
Okay, so why can't he have the knife in case he needs it? I don't understand your logic. You're just illogical.
What I'm
It
saying is
makes
that
no
there was
sense.
he didn't need it in that point. I could
That's
see if he
what
was in
you
a dark
think.
alley
Nick just
in
gave,
an alley with somebody like,
ma'am,
oh, I'm about to kill
ma'am,
you or something.
You
That's
know,
ma'am,
different.
ma'am.
listen,
Nick
listen.
just read a list of reasons why he could have needed it, and you're just up
Right.
here
So
ignoring it.
again, if he had all those issues, why could he not just get up and say, you know what, I'll wait till my
Okay.
team gets here and I'll chill and
Why
let's just all
can't Austin
chill.
just not provoke him, walk up to him and leave him alone?
That's
Why
true.
can't
He could
Austin mind
have.
his business?
You're right. He
Austin
should have,
Hunter and all the
and
other
I said
people that's
that
behind
too.
him.
He should have. He should have. But look, but
Well,
who's behind bars? Carmelo. So
okay,
he should have
Amara.
thought. He
Okay,
should
but
have
he's
thought
behind
more.
bars
It is
because it
it
was
He
is
in
should have
said
used his
Texas, ma'am.
brain.
it
No,
is
you
But
didn't
said
use
he's
your
in prison
brain.
now.
You're the one that's up here being intellectually dishonest. You're not
I'm
using reading
not. I'm
comprehension,
not
and you're not listening.
because I have
You
things to
read the
lose. So I'm
whole
not just
penal
gonna say,
code,
oh,
and you still,
let me
ma'am,
just
you
off this
read the
man,
whole
or let
penal
me just kill
code,
somebody for nothing.
and you still can't process it.
listen.
Do you understand that the murder charge comes from the grand jury? Who is the grand jury?
Listen, look, check this out. This is Juneteenth, right? It is pathetic that on Juneteenth we have to sit here and convince another black person
Pitiful.
about a black person defending themselves from being
No.
mob attacked by some Klan people.
Now it was a mob attack. Now it's a Klan. Girl, come on now.
that
It's not.
time,
It's not
that
always
time,
racist.
listen,
It's not
it
always
is,
about
it
race.
is,
No, it's
it
not. It's
is,
not always
it
about
is,
How
race.
was it not
it
about
is.
race when his
Well,
father
listen,
just did a
it is,
2-hour
it
racial
is.
It's
rant,
not
ma'am?
always.
Wait,
It's not always about race.
but in
We're
this case
talking
it
about a
was.
particular
Wait a
case.
minute. But in this case it was, and in this case it
Yes.
is. Collins
So they.
County,
So they. So
it's
you
not
saying that
always about
they.
race.
So
It's
you
not
saying they
always
did
about
that because
race,
he's
but
black?
in this
So you
case it
saying
was.
they. So
Yes.
are you saying if he was white, he
Are
would
you
have been able to
familiar with
sit
Collins
there?
County?
Are you saying that
Are you
if he
saying
was
that's not
white,
the
they would have been
case?
okay?
Are you
Amara,
saying that's not the case?
wait a
If he
minute.
was white, I'm pretty sure they would have said the same
Are
thing.
you
They would have
familiar
said
with
like, "Can
Collins
you
No,
County?
move?" They would have
ma'am.
done the same
No.
thing.
No, ma'am.
Amara,
Where
are
did
you
Nick
familiar with
go?
Collins County?
Am I what?
Familiar with Collins County?
No, I'm
Do
from
you have?
a
Gerald,
small town
hey,
outside of
everybody,
Let
everybody,
Houston.
wait,
me
wait,
tell.
pause,
Let me
pause.
tell you
Hey,
something.
Gerald, moderate the conversation. I'm gonna go use the ladies' room real quick, but
All right,
moderate. Make sure nobody's saying no curse words. All that, all that. I'll be right back. Y'all continue.
Amara. Let me give you a little history about Collins County. Collins McKinney was a notorious slave
Now I know
owner.
McKinney, Texas. Yeah, I do
Listen,
know McKinney.
please. Collins McKinney was his name.
Okay,
Was a notorious
okay.
slave owner. Okay, that town, that county in Texas, in Dallas, and the surrounding area is notorious for being very, very, very much racist. That town, that location, black people know you don't stand a chance of getting justice in Collins County.
That's what Jasmine Crockett said. That's what the congresswoman said.
Exactly. It is historic for being racist. There are several towns in Texas that we refer to as sundown towns.
Okay, can I say something to that?
There are several towns that we consider very racist towns.
Congresswoman Jasmine
Right.
Crockett said that she knows who the DA is, that she dealt with the judge too, and they're not good.
I'm gonna say this, and then you can go, Miss Sandra. I can't see. I've got my glasses on, but that judge has just got reprimanded for doing racist activity.
I thought is he retiring?
And he's retiring. Number one,
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
They're all MAGA. Metcalf is MAGA. He has a relationship with the Attorney General, who is MAGA.
Yeah, those photographs were real. I believe they were real.
Hold on, Miss Sandra. He has a relationship. Jeff Metcalf has a relationship with Trump and MAGA. He has a relationship with the Attorney General, Ken Paxton. They're all MAGA. You see that his dad, Jeff Metcalf, was a racist. He raised his boys to be very racist. And both those boys had just came out for suspension.
They didn't even attend that school anymore.
Right. So
but my thing is this: where were the adults? When I worked as a special education paraprofessional in public school in New York, and I left from there to work for the police department. What I'm trying to say is this: there are a certain number of adults, coaches, and qualified licensed teachers that have to be on premises. If you were already suspended, you and your twin brother, you were admonished and told if there were any incidents that were to occur, you're to go to an adult. 17-year-olds are 17-year-olds. They don't have the maturity to figure it out. If I'm
Okay,
walking around with a shoulder injury after I just had surgery and I'm an epileptic, having a fight could put me in deadly danger.
okay, can I say
One
something to what
17-year-old
Crystal
don't have
said?
no right to walk up to another 17-year-old when there are adults present. If you
And that's
feel that that
true.
person doesn't belong under that tent, you walk up to the coach and you go, Coach,
That's true.
does that kid belong under here? But there's another component, Amara, that you're not thinking about, and I work for the Board of Ed. When you have a bunch of minors, the hosting school for the intramural sport has to offer the gratuity. These are children. They need the bathroom and they need water. They're supposed to offer the gratuity and give them accommodation as they are guests. I don't know if that's the bylaw in Texas, but from what I know, you want your minor child to return home safe. You
Exactly.
allow the school is supposed to allow them a certain gratuity that they may shelter and that they may have access to water and the lavatory. Does that make sense to you, my love?
Definitely. So
And it's on
let me respond. Let
Juneteenth.
me say
If
something.
I'm walking around with a Swiss Army knife my dad gave me, of course I'm not thinking about killing nobody with it because it's a 2-inch knife. The only thing you probably would do is cut yourself real bad. I don't think he had that in his mind at all. He's a epileptic. It says in 2024 he had a bad seizure. He had a bad head injury. He had another seizure just before that track meet, and he had to have surgery on his left side. He couldn't fight. He is not a fighter. He was outweighed, and he was scared. And any seizure could kill you.
Okay, can I say something real fast to what Crystal said? As a Texan, I'm from South Texas, so I know all about sundown towns. I know about all that stuff. I know about the racism in Texas. I understand all that, and that is why it's up to us. Now, I'm not saying that it is right what this country does to Black people. It's not right. It's definitely not right. But we should know by the time we are teenagers, especially if you're in a sundown town or if you're in a town that you know is known to be racist and you know that that is how it is, that is your duty to be better than the white people. You cannot lower yourself from what the white people do. And like I said, I know it's not right, but as Black people, we have to be better. We have to be better as people. We have to
Amara,
actually
any blow
no.
to his head as an epileptic,
What
any
I'm saying
blow that
is he
he
should
took to
have
the
got up as
body,
a Black person, as
any
a Black
stress,
man.
he could have, if you say, first you said that all it was going to happen was he was going to get beat up. You don't know
But
that.
no, but I
He
also
could
said he
have
should
had
have
a
got up. I said he
seizure
should have
and it
left
could have
before
killed him.
then. But I also said he should have got up. He should have used his brain. His parents should have taught him as Black people in America that America is not, it's not
What
equal
if,
with Black
what
and
if he
white.
was
It is
actually
not.
trying to get up and walk away and he couldn't?
Everybody
Did you see
doesn't
him get up and walk away?
You got two choices. You're gonna fight or flight. Okay, he fought.
So and
If you
again,
gonna
as Black people, we should
Why
know
you gotta
we
try and
should be
avoid a
better.
fight
We should
and
know
people are
better
surrounding you, then
than
what?
to do what we did.
There's
That's all
another
I'm
she's
video.
saying.
still not giving a
No,
legitimate reason as
Okay,
no,
to
no,
all right,
no.
all
why.
right.
There's
I'm
no
back.
way.
I'm back.
She's
I'm
not.
back.
She's
I'm
not
back.
gonna. She's not gonna agree with you no matter what you say.
I
All
Period.
mean,
right,
I mean,
pause,
but
pause. Everybody, pause, pause, pause. So I've told this story on my channel several times before. I was in the 7th grade. I had went to this new school, and there was this big girl. She was huge. She was huge. I was skinny. Okay, I was similar to my daughter. I was super skinny in school. I was a stick figure all throughout school, especially in the 7th grade. I was a tiny, tiny girl, right? So there was this one girl who was like 300 pounds in the 7th grade, like big, big, right? She would go around and she had a reputation of bullying people. And everybody would talk about how like she would punk people, she would bully them, and she would do all of these things, right? So one time it was in passing. I was going to class and she thought that this day that she was going to pick on me, right? And she came up, she started talking shit. And prior to that, I would always hear my mom, my aunties, they would always instill in me because I would, vent about like, dang, it's this girl. She always be punking people, da da da. And they will always instill, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So she came up to me in middle school, and I was scared to death. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, if this girl put her hands on me, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I never showed her that I was scared. To her, I said, I said, come up and watch what happened. Like, it was a similar thing. Like, I said, if you put your hands on me, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I kept on saying it. I'm like, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Girl, I ain't worried about you. I'm over there woofing. I was scared. In my heart, though, I was scared as hell. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen if she touched me. But on the outside, I'm like, you ain't about to bully me. I don't care what you talking about. The bigger they are, the harder you fall. And she had her fist balled up, and I got in my fighting stance, scared as hell. I'm scared. But I didn't let that bitch know shit that I was scared, because at the end of the day, you not about to punk me, and you not about to bully me, and you not about to do to me what you doing to all of these other kids. And so I got in my fighting stance, and in my heart was jumping out of my chest. Like, I'm scared, but I'm like, come up, run up, like run up and get done up. I ain't never had to fight a day in my life at that point in the 7th grade. I was scared as hell, but I was woofing it like, what's up? Like, I don't give a damn what. I don't care what you think this is. The bigger they are, I bet you be on that ground. Like, I'm woofing it. After that day, she never messed with me again. We never had a fight. They never knew I was scared, because I never showed that I was scared. I was petrified. But all I knew was, if it came down to it, I'm going to give it all I got. Anything my family done taught me, anything I done observed from my family, anything, I was going to use it. I was going to, all the little stuff that they told me how to use my weight, the weight that I did have, and anything that I knew, at the end of the day, if she put her hands on me, it was going to be what it was going to be. Whether she beat me up, all I knew was it wasn't going to go down easily. Okay? I'm thinking, damn, she might whip my ass, but hey, it's not going to happen easily. So a lot of people keep saying, oh, well, if he was scared, he should have just left. Or, oh, if he was scared, why didn't he just leave? That's not how fear works. That's not how bully works. Just, you could be scared as hell, but you can still stand your ground and be scared. And this ain't a story that I'm just making up to tell y'all. If you go on my page, I've told this story countless times about how I was scared as hell that she probably was going to whoop my ass, but I was letting her know, my family done told me, the bigger you are, the harder you fall, and you going to hit that pavement. But I was scared as hell. So I feel like people are being disingenuous when they try to act like, oh, like, fear doesn't look the same. Everybody, like, also, anger doesn't look the same. When I'm angry, when I'm fighting mad, when I'm upset, I cry. A lot of people think that that's a weakness, like, oh, she's crying or whatever. You know, I cry when I'm in fear, and I cry when I'm petrified and I'm scared, and I also cry when I'm livid, when I'm mad. So you can't, like, a lot of people are trying to gauge what scared looks like, or what different things look like. Like, that's not like reality. And you also have to put yourself in the mind of a 17-year-old. When I'm 17, another 17-year-old ain't telling me shit. You're not a person of authority. You're not a teacher. You're not telling me nothing. And you got to think, boys, ego. There was girls under the tent as well. There was boys under the tent. And they also testify how one of the students that was at the memorial, his twin sister was under the tent with all of the girls 2 bleachers down. So you got to think, not only is it all of these boys, but you got to think how embarrassing that is to get punked in front of some girls. And then right adjacent to that tent is another tent full of kids Like all of these things we have to think about, and people are not using their critical thinking skills. And the defense lawyer also did not
Girl,
accurately
please.
accurately portray these nuances, nor did they put an expert up there to portray these nuances. Now, regardless if they put somebody up here to portray these nuances or not, like I said, that jury made their mind up before they got in that jury box. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing that was going to tip the scale was Karmelo himself testifying, and by him not testifying, his lawyers did him a disservice. And that was what it was. But sorry, I just had to jump in there because I was listening when I was going using the ladies room, and I'm like, oh, like no, it's not always, fear is not always a particular look. Like fear doesn't mean, oh my god, like fear looks different for everybody. So I just wanted to say that. But Sancho, we haven't heard from you. Sancho,
I
please
think I was
share.
next, Neek. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Whoever was next, and then Sancho after you.
Thank you for having me up. I just wanted to say I respect everybody's opinion here. I saw the video. I thought it was very intentional that they released it today. Um, that was interesting to me, but I saw it and I was a bit underwhelmed because, you know, y'all were reporting on it, and then I'm seeing TikToks about it. I'm just seeing a whole bunch of like information about it, but not actually seeing what's going on in the courtroom, just hearing it. I do not understand, after watching this video a couple times, I don't understand how he was convicted of murder one, from what I
That's
seen.
Yeah, he
Eh,
was
that
convicted of murder one because there's a specific line in murder one that says it's only like defense if the person was not the provoker. Every single student said that Carmelo Anthony provoked it, even though their actions showed different. Their words to was Carmelo the provoker, they all said yes. So they were easily able to check that box off and say, let's send him up the river.
but I get that, but what we saw, what I saw, because I can't, because a lot of people have their own interpretation of it, but I saw what I saw. I don't see how they could convict him of that. Like, and I know that the lady that was on, she said everything is not about race. This was about race because I'm in Houston, Texas, and around the corner from my house, there was a fight in the girls' bathroom, and a girl hit her head. The story was big. I'm sure y'all heard about it, but the girl hit her head and she passed away. It was a fight in the bathroom,
Yeah.
and there was no justice because these were minors. And another situation in Houston, I mean, well, not maybe like outskirt, a white boy stabbed a classmate, and he killed him, and he got manslaughter. So I'm just like, it's hard to say it's not about race because it's like I be seeing different instances. I be seeing like the same basis, but it's like, the details are different. But I be seeing the same cases. It's like the outcomes are different. It's like the white boy that stabbed his classmate in Bel Air, Texas. He did not get 35 years, and he had a plan to go to school to fight in the bathroom. He brought a knife to fight in the bathroom. Carmelo was chilling. He was at a track meet. The only thing that confuses me, that puzzles me, is why did he have it? I'm sure he had it for a reason, or maybe he didn't, but it's just like, I'm not understanding why his defense did not give a reason. Like, oh, they said it was like a cleat sharpener for his shoes, right? His cleats. Why didn't they say that? Like, or maybe they did. I don't know. It's just like, that's the only thing that I could see, like, the jury, you know, not, them not like, not making sense to them. But like the video that I saw, it's just like, I like I said, I was underwhelmed, and I hate to say that because somebody did lose their life. I'm not being insensitive, but I'm looking at this video. I'm like, I don't see cold blooded murder. I don't see how anybody could. I see, I don't see anybody getting jumped. Now they said Carmelo got jumped. I did not see that with my own eyes, but I did see a lot of kids surrounding him. But if that was Austin, I'm assuming that's Austin. Austin lifted Carmelo in that video.
Picked him up off
I'm
the
trying to
ground.
understand I, I, I'm trying to understand why people. I understand why people fault Carmelo because he did not have to do that. I wish it didn't happen, but it's like he got lifted up by another kid. Like, come on, y'all. Like, these are children. These are children with egos. Their frontal lobes are not developed. That's embarrassing. And the way they describe Austin, his mama said that's her big baby, right? She said he's like 225, like a 225-pounder white
All
boy
muscle.
lifting you up.
Mm-mm.
That's not scary to y'all.
Mm.
I mean, I would be scared. I'm a
I
woman,
don't know which
but
where
if I
the
was
twins. Where I
somebody
have the
as
first
small as Carmelo was, because he's 5'7", 130 pounds, if a 200 something pound white boy lifted me up and tried to remove me, that would scare me.
Probably thought
So
he was getting lynched.
I just hate it happened. But this video I'm looking at, I don't see how they could call him a murderer. I don't see how they could say this is he was the provoker. We're clearly looking at Austin be aggressive with the whole bunch of people around him surrounding Carmelo. I didn't see anybody jump him, but I did see a
Oh,
about
there it is.
4 to 5 kids
Yeah, they
around
was
him,
gonna jack him
and
up.
Austin lift him up. And then Carmelo, I didn't see the stab because it's so far away, but obviously it happened, and then Carmelo pops up the top and runs fast. I don't see how that's like a cold blooded murder with intentions. That's my only problem. I'm like, if y'all wanted to charge him with, convict him of manslaughter, okay, he somebody did lose their life, but it's like first degree murder. I just do not understand it. I don't know. I I'm gonna pray for Carmelo. I really do. I mean, I know appeals take a while, but I hope that this turns around from him. I hope that his charges are. I mean, it's reduced. His time's reduced because I'm looking at this. This was not intentional, and I think that more accountability should be placed on Austin. I know he's a victim, but he's not a perfect victim. Austin
Where
had
was
no
the adult?
authority to tell Carmelo where to go, and he had no authority on removing Carmelo physically. So I don't know. I know he lost his life, and my heart goes out to his mother only because
Oh, the
his father's
mother's
an
bad
asshole.
too.
But that other twin, I know that other twin, I know that deep down, because he was there, he knows they was in the wrong for how they did Carmelo. Because if he was such a bother, they would have gotten a teacher or something, actually authority figure to remove Carmelo. I keep hearing y'all people say Carmelo should have walked away, and it's like he could have, but Austin could have walked away too and got a teacher if it was that big of a deal. So I don't know. It's just unfortunate. But like I said, from this video, they put it out. I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish. It doesn't look like Carmelo's in the wrong here, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know what they were trying. I don't know. But thank you so much for having me. Y'all have a good night.
If
All
my
right.
child had just passed away, Neek, and I lost one of my twin babies, the last thing on earth I would be doing is making TikToks. It just something ain't right. Something ain't right. I'm gonna drop down. Something is not right about the whole family.
We have to be honest about the racism that is plaguing this whole case.
But
And
we're
the
all
people and
standing here as parents. Would you be up there on TikTok cursing people out if your child was killed, or would you be in your house crying your eyes out, curled up in a ball, asking God why? The last thing on my mind would be on the internet.
Well, I gotta
Right.
say that grief is different for everybody. Everybody processes it different. I'm not, I think that the father is completely racist and he wanted to say what he wanted to say regardless. But grief looks different for everybody. Like the way that they process it, some people don't have a support system. Some people get comfort into speaking on the internet because they don't have like a core. Some people, you know, they get shut down. I feel like the father's racist regardless, but we can't just be realistically say like, oh well, I would handle it this way, I would handle it that way, because it's been a year since the incident happened. This isn't April 2nd, 2025. We're a year away from the incident happening.
And this case was very polarizing, and it triggered, as I mentioned before, an already highly contentious racist element that Black people have
Hey,
known
Neat.
Collins County to
Hello.
be about. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Sunshine.
Hey, can I break this down can I break this down for them right quick?
go
Hmm.
ahead.
All right, so all that she read about the Texas penalty code and all that, right? I'm a licensed instructor down here in Texas, right? So the part where they're saying that about the the imminent threat of death, seriously bodily injury, kidnap, SA, robbery, or another violent crime, right? So there is more after that. Factors that matter includes whether the group is threatening attacking you, whether they are armed or appear capable of causing serious injury, whether you are actually being prevented from living, the size, age, strength, and action of the people involved, whether the threat is immediate. For an example, if two people are arguing with you, blocking your path, but are not threatening seriously harm, deadly force. Now, this right here, deadly force would generally not be justified if multiple people are violently attacking you. So, what's attacking, right? So, you got this person, fussing. That's attack. If I'm fussing with you and attacking you, yeah, I know it's verbal attack, but attack is attack, right? So if they're attacking you and you reasonably believe you could be killed or seriously injured, deadly force may be justified.
That is the law.
So people are not looking at that part.
Where was the damn adults?
Yeah, you're right. Everybody's keyed in on this knife. What about the other part? What about the part where if I'm asking you to leave and you're not leaving, like the young lady said a while ago, go get an adult. So how come Austin couldn't turn and go do that? Then that knife, what they say was about 3 inches. If
No,
you t- if well, however
It
long it
was
was,
three and a
it
half. It
wasn't.
was 3.5 inches. The blade was 3.5 inches. Correct.
Okay, so you can carry that here in Texas. Here in Texas, a knife has to be a certain length to be considered illegal. Well, to consider be illegal. So if you touch the middle of your chest with that knife being that part, and they're saying that you have to use force behind that. That piece in the middle of your chest is hard. That's a hard bone. So he had to be falling on it, or he had to be coming towards him. So me personally, I think it was self-defense. But by Texas being a racist state,
oh
just a few,
Lord,
just come on now, just okay. Listen, just a few years ago, the same incident happened. The same incident happened, but it was reversed. It was two white boys, 17 years old, and the black kid was 19. The black kid was getting out of his car trying to run from them. They shot him in the back. Guess what they gave those two white boys?
nothing.
They only gave him 4 years. So you have to look at you have to look at everything that goes on in Texas. Yes, it was racially motivated. Um, Racism is taught. Um, Jeff Metcalf, whatever his name is. Come on now, fathers teaches their kids. Especially boys, especially sons. We teach our kids. Our kids mimic us. If we're an ass, excuse me. If we're a hole towards everybody, how's our kids gonna think? Our kids are gonna be the same way.
Nick, can I interject right here? I've been waiting a very long time and I haven't spoken at all.
Who is that talking?
It's OG Patrice. I
Okay,
literally haven't said anything.
okay, you could go, but
Um,
1 second. Wait, before you go. Gerald, are you still here? I think Gerald might not be on, so I'm trying to see if he's still
I'm gonna
here or
drop
not.
down. Thank you, everybody.
Sabre, did you already speak? Oh, I think Gerald isn't here. Okay, go ahead, OG Patrice.
yeah, I wanted to address a part of the law and what Amara was saying to try to get her to understand what goes on in the mind of a 17-year-old whose brain isn't fully developed when adrenaline and things of that nature is at hand, right? And he's being surrounded by multiple people. At that time, we don't know if one person or multiple people is going to jump on him. So I would assume that he thought, because I am in literally under the tent of the enemy, the possibility of all of them is going to attack me. Now I know I have a brain condition. I know that I have had surgery on my arm, and I am looking at these two twin brothers, and they are twice the size and height as I am. So the
I think she dropped
comparison,
off.
the comparison of Carmelo to them definitely should have been brought up in the court. The defense should have addressed that. There were so many things that was not addressed it, and Carmelo never got a chance to tell his story, and that's the toughest part right there. That's the thing that I think that was a part of another reason why they were setting him up from the word go, is because he never got to tell his story. Because in self-defense, which is what he said it was, in self-defense cases, most criminal cases, at least 95% of the defendants get up there and testify. You know why? Because they have to explain why to the jurors, to the court, to the judge, why it was self-defense. And he never got a chance to do that. He never got a chance to answer the question as to why I was carrying that tool. See, all of those things were taken away from him. But I'm gonna say this, because when you look at the size of the Metcalf boys and you look at the size of Carmelo, to me, as a female, that is just like me fighting a man hands in hands. And I know a man can overpower me. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna fight no man with just only my hands. Not now, because I already know that they are stronger than me physically. You understand? So you have to think of the situation. And it was said that after he ran, they ran after him. Why did they run after him? What, did they all run after him to assault him? That had to be what he thought. That is why he was in fear for his life. The thing is, he never got opportunity to defend why it was self-defense. He never got the opportunity to say why he carried the knife. He could have said, oh, I go camping, I hike, I go fishing. It's a multitude of reasons that could have been justified. So when you look at the defense side of it, it was all by design. It was by design for this system to fail him. And compared to our white counterparts, they don't get the time like what that judge gave Carmelo. So I want you to think about that, because if a big, tall, 6 foot something man weighing 200, 300 pounds, you ain't finna fight him hand to hand. You might for a minute, but you're going to be looking for something to knock the crap out of him, or defend yourself in the best way you can, because a man can absolutely unalive you with his bare hands. Strangulation.
all of these things in that nature. So guess what? The Maycap boys could have did the same thing to Carmelo when you compare sizes. If he pushed him with this football tackle hole or whatever and lifted him up, he could have choked him to to death too as well. So I want you to understand when you all of these things was not addressed in the court that should have been addressed. And maybe you would have a change of mind in your mindset regarding that if it was allowed to do that. Now I had said, yeah, the least I would have called it was the manslaughter. But if it's true that people after he ran away, they were chasing after him to follow him, I'm going to assume they chasing after me to beat me up. So for to me, oh yeah, anything I can see and get my hands on, they gonna get it. I am
All
in
right.
I'm in open carry state now, and it's with me every day. And I go by the law of I wish a ninja would.
All right.
Right on,
Thank
OG
you.
Pat.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Nick
Pat.
Channel.
Let me go to Juicin 1990. Juicin 1990. Going once, going twice. All right, let me go to Tammy Nicole.
Hello, how are
Oh,
you?
wait. Sorry, Tammy Nicole. Let me go to Bree. I'm sorry. They
No
came before
problem.
you. Sorry. Bree. Let me go to Bree. Bree going once. Bree going twice. Bree.
Hey, Neat. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, cut it off in the back. Go ahead. Okay.
Hello?
Yes. You gotta cut us off in the back,
Okay, is
Bree. You
that
gotta
better?
only listen to the StreamYard link. Okay, Bree, we're gonna have to come back to you. Dallas
Okay. Well, I
214.
have a question for Amara. Amara, I understand some of you.
Bree, if you're gonna speak, you have to turn the TV off because there's a delay. You have to only listen to us through the StreamYard link
Amara, I
only.
understand some of your points. I was wanting to know, do you think that Carmelo got a fair trial? Do you think 35 years was correct?
Can you hear me?
Wait, Amara, before you respond, um, Bree, you have to cut us off in the back, or else I'm gonna have to drop it because I hear that echo.
Yes, I can, but there's
I'm
oh
waiting to
Lord, I don't know why. Let me see. Okay, I have it off in the back.
Okay, go ahead.
You want me to speak?
Yeah, she asked you a question. Go ahead.
No, I don't think his sentence was fair. But multiple people have already said in this chat, and most people have said on this line that we already know black people get a longer sentence. So we shouldn't be surprised that he got a longer sentence. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But it's something that we already knew would happen. It's something that we should already know that that's how it is in this country. That's what I was saying earlier. It's not right. It's not good how it is. But we should know. That's why I said we should be better because we should know already how they treat us as black people. So no, I don't think it was fair. But at the same time, that's why it's up to us to change and be better and do better as black people. And I do stand behind that. Black men off each other the most in this country, and we don't even make up the population of this country. We are the smallest part of the country. But why are black men offing each other the most in this country? We need to do better
Why do
as
you hate
people.
black
And I know
people,
y'all
man?
don't think that. What I'm sorry?
Why do you hate black people?
I don't hate
Why
black
do you
people.
have
What
such
I'm saying,
animosity? You
me
come
saying that we
across
should
like
be
you have
better is not, that's
animosity
not
towards your own
hate.
people.
Saying
It
that we should be
is.
better is not hate. No, it's
You
not.
come
I want us
you
to
come
be better
across
as
as if you have
people. I
self
want
hate.
us to be wanting to be better as a
That's not
person is not
better.
hate. If you want your
Defending
children to
yourself is
be,
not
if you want your
defending
children to
yourself.
be
You
good
have the
people
right
in
to
the
defend
world,
yourself.
you teach them to be good
You want
people
us
in
to
the
be
world.
lesser.
That's not
Hold
You
that's
on.
speaking
not
as
hating your children. That is
you
teaching them to
speaking
be
as if
better.
we should
How
be
was that
lesser
hate? How was that hate,
because you're
sweetie?
speaking
If I
because
if
you're
I tell
sounding
my children,
you sound as
if
if
I
we
if
should
I
be
tell my
lesser
children to be better than other people in school, how is that hate? When I'm trying to tell them to be
because
a better
listen.
person, that's not hate,
Okay,
baby. That's
what would
what
you
you need
tell
to
your children?
All right,
understand.
Let me
wait,
ask you a
pause,
question.
pause, pause. Wait,
Let me
Crystal. Wait. Somebody has feedback, and for me, it's when it's going back and forth. When people are talking, and then there's the feedback behind it. Anybody who has this playing on their TV, cut off the TV. If anybody who has this playing on their laptop, cut off the laptop. Only listen through the stream. Go ahead, Crystal.
okay, if you saying better, what do you think is better? If someone is trying to attack you, you don't think that black people have the right to defend themselves?
Definitely, but like most people have already said, both parties could have gotten. It could have been handled differently. That's just the bottom line. It could have been handled differently on both sides. Bottom line, both sides could have
If
handled the situation differently. We already said we
okay,
could have gotten an adult. We could have gotten someone else. We could have said, "Hello, hi, help me." They're trying to something, anything better,
wait,
better than what it is now. That he's in prison now. There could be the better
right.
a better outcome of this whole situation.
Amara, do you think it could have been a worse situation? Like Kamala could be the one. Carmelo could be the one that's dead. If you know, Carmelo it has been expressed. We are
But
talking
what?
about
But
the
Crystal, if
overwhelming
anyone loses their
racism.
life, if
I'm
anyone
just
loses their
asking you
life,
one
it's
quick
not
question.
good on either
Let me.
side. So
No
I'm
one's
not
saying
saying
it's
that it's
good.
good that he lost his life.
No, but I'm saying the reason why it sounds like you're hating on black because you're not. You're downplaying the fact that it's an overwhelming racist environment. You're downplaying the fact that he got a very unfair trial. You're downplaying the fact that
I said he had
the
an unfair
judge.
trial. I
Wait a
said
minute, but
that.
no, you're not because in the same breath you're trying to compare the person that was ganged up on in this clannish environment, the same type of environment where these white boys try to surround Neek, the same environment where in the same county a white boy stabbed and killed somebody in the bathroom at school and got manslaughter. You're downplaying the fact of all this overwhelming. They're using the judge, the DA, the jury against one young and his attorneys against his one young man, and you're trying to act like it's equal playing field when it's not. They use all the king's horses and all the king's men to get the result they want on Carmelo. And then to come on and talk about
I said
what
that.
black people do to
I
other
said I
black
understand
people,
that.
white people kill white people, Mexicans kill Mexicans. That's not the factor at hand. Why would you, if you really were empathetic of what's going on, why wouldn't you look at everything that's in place and stop trying to, look within yourself and see why Carmelo has the right to defend himself. We're all 99% of the time we are defending a black person that was murdered by a racist, be it the police, the lynching, or the Klan. How are you coming on here with the heat of what's happened to this man, with all this overwhelming racism, and have the nerve enough to be siding with those people who don't give a dang about you, me, Carmelo, or these kids? You're sounding like those same people, but you're doing it in blackface.
I don't
True.
care about those people. No, I don't care about none of them other people. I don't know anyone in the whole situation. I already said they were all wrong in the situation. Were they not all wrong in the
No,
situation? So Carmelo wasn't wrong. Okay.
He wasn't.
So people
But just
already
think
said
about that,
once
Amara.
again,
Just
they
think
already
about what I'm
said they
talking
should have
about.
gotten an adult. People have already said that. They said they should have gotten an adult. Someone should have notified an adult for the
No,
situation.
But
They
he
should
was
that's
by
not
have.
what they were.
himself.
That's not
Nobody
what they
was
were
trying to get an
saying.
adult.
Okay, if I'm in a racist town with a whole bunch of white people around me, I'm not going to um just do things that's like going to get them
What you?
riled up.
But it
But you're gonna be
sounds like the way
good
you're
little.
sound.
You're gonna be a good little in. You're gonna be a good little
I'm gonna
blackie.
mind my business. I'm gonna keep it moving, and I'm
That's
gonna
not
keep
the
moving
case.
because
That's not the
that's
case.
self preservation.
He look. He is a track. He was a track captain. He was a
Yeah, and there
football
was other
captain.
there was a lot of other black boys, a lot of black kids
Right.
testified. Just to be clear, there were other
But they
black
were.
boys on the track meet.
He's living in a town
Okay,
they
so how is
never
it?
they
So
would
how is it a
navigate.
racial
Look,
racial thing
he
if there
was
was other
living.
black people in the situation? I could see if he was
No,
the only black person out there,
Well,
then
just
that's
because there's
racial.
other okay, so
look, we're
so
wasting
I'm
our
gonna pause
time.
you.
We're
Just
wasting our
because
time.
there is black people on the team doesn't mean that you couldn't have been raised with racist ideologies. Everybody has their own bias, own prejudices, own things. If you come from a father that's really racist, extremely racist, and talking about you people was just slaves, we let you not be slaves, and you have that mentality, even though there's black kids on the team, that thing is internal from birth, embedded in children. So you can not have an all-white team and still be racist. You can have a black friend and still be racist. Like just because there's black kids on the team, black kids are the best athletes in the freaking world. Like, they dominate in sports. So that doesn't mean that every teammate that they have is not gonna say or be racist. If you remember, what's that girl named Viviana or whatever? She was dating a owner of an NBA team, and she used to wear those visors, and he was dating her. She was
Oh
half
yeah,
black, and he was completely racist. Her name
Hmm.
was
right.
Viviana or Staviviana, or it was something like that. But just because you have proximity or you're around black people doesn't mean you're not racist. There was a influencer covering the trial who had a token black girl with her that was sucking up for white approval, but she was spewing racist stuff every single day. But she was walking around with that token because the token was her, I have a black friend. The bitch
Yep,
is
and
racist.
she, yep, and she knew her place and what not to say around this white woman. So she just took everything she said.
Have more black love. Have more
The,
black pride.
the
It's
Viviano.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't think of her name. But yeah.
But you know what? This is the closest thing to this is what a black jury would look like. You know what I'm saying? Because if Carmelo had any kind of justice from the juror, even a juror of his true peers, even if you had somebody like being on the maybe the more I'm gonna call right, say Amara, and had people on the left say us, just as an analogy, even a fair juror would have been a different outcome. If he'd have had some attorneys that wasn't racist and that didn't throw the case, he would have had a better outcome. If the prosecutor and the defense attorney would not had not been on the same law firm before, the family didn't know that these attorneys that the head of that the attorneys had been in the same law firm with the prosecutor until the case was over. It came out. The judge, all of this was racist, and we can't ignore that. We can't ignore the systemic racism that took place and try to just say, "Oh, you black, that's what's gonna happen to you. You black, just accept it. Or you black, just turn the other cheek." No, Carmelo did what he had to do,
That's not what I
and
said
all
though.
black people should defend themselves when you're in a situation. Never be the aggressor, which Carmelo was not. But if you are faced in a situation where it's you versus them, choose you. Go home, have to be tried by a jury instead of being buried. And that's what we want people to understand. Know your rights, know the law, stand up for yourself. You don't have to turn your teeth, bow your head, or operate like a second class citizen, or turn the other cheek. We have the right for every right that anybody else has. We have the right to it, and even more so. We are the one that constantly being victimized and oppressed. So I'm glad that Neek has the courage to speak on it, and also to give people the platform to speak on it. And even Amara, you know, we need to hear contrary thought so we know how to rebut it. And then maybe, I don't know, we might bring Amara more over to the dark side. You never know.
Not the dark side, because they always associate black with dark. It's not the dark side. She need to be
Black is
brought to light.
beautiful.
Yeah.
No, black is
A
not
rude
bad. That's
awakening.
what they do. We reverse the negative stuff. Black is beautiful. Black is powerful. Black is essence. We're not gonna tune into their essence. You know, everything come. We was formed in a black womb, out of a black universe. You don't get color till you start breaking down black. Neek is beautiful. She's chocolate. I'm beautiful. I'm Carmel. We're a beautiful people. Carmelo, let's get to the bottom line. They was jealous of him. He was the captain of the football team, captain of the track field. Just won earlier that day. Did we not forget about that? He had just won. These boys just been suspended, coming
Well,
back.
I don't know if they have been suspended. That didn't come out in trial.
No, well, we know that they had been suspended. Carmelo, Austin and Hunter had been suspended. Or well, one of them, Austin, had been suspended, that is. And had just came back off of suspension.
Okay. I just got to be clear about like what, because I don't know that to be a fact. So I'll be trying to be,
We know it to be a fact. If you want us to bring the facts later, but Austin had been suspended
Okay.
Power.
Rasta,
What a
for
Rasta
bullying
name.
a cheerleader.
Rasta
He had been,
wanted to chime in. Rasta, what'd you want to say?
I want the batty boy to stop talking the bumbuck lad.
In the comments or
No, the batty boy attack.
Boy, your daddy's
The
a
street.
baby boy.
Yeah, you, you,
Oh, you
you, you.
talking
Yeah,
about
you.
And
Amara?
like your
Hey,
daddy's a
wow,
baby
hey,
boy,
wow,
bitch.
wow.
Don't do that. Don't do
stand
all
down,
You
that.
ain't,
stand
you
down,
ain't making no
stand down,
sense. You ain't
Rasta.
Look at
making no
you,
sense.
crackhead ass. Don't do all that.
You
Your
Okay,
don't
daddy's a
listen
pause,
to
baby boy,
yourself.
pause,
bitch.
pause. Okay,
Listen
wait,
to
wait,
Don't do
yourself.
wait.
all that. Don't do
Listen to
that.
yourself.
You see what you
Stand
see.
down, Rasta.
You see what the fuck I look like. Don't do
Stand down,
that.
Rasta. This Sancho. Stand down, Rasta.
Black power.
Yeah, let's not make it like personal attacks and all that. We can
Cause
all
he
have a
right.
different listen.
Cause he can be like Austin or whoever the fuck. Like let's not do all that.
Okay, all right, wait, pause,
do all of
pause,
that,
Amara.
please, ma'am. Don't do
Amara,
that.
pause,
Or
Amara.
you.
Hey,
Leave
Because
that
la,
I
alone.
didn't say nothing because I didn't say nothing about nobody
hold,
personally or nothing. I'm just giving my opinion. I didn't say nothing about anyone
hey,
on this
Mara.
channel.
Right, that's
Hey,
what I'm
Nick
Mara.
saying.
already
That's what I'm
addressed that.
saying.
Nick already addressed
Right,
it. Chill out.
right. That's what I'm
Hey,
saying. Like, we're not gonna do
Moving
personal
on.
attacks. It's Juneteenth. We're gonna agree to disagree, but like just with our own points. You know what I mean? So
okay.
The
Can I say?
fuck? We
Can I?
not
Can I say?
yeah.
Can I say something? Nick? Hold on, Amara. Hold on. Hold on.
go
Hold on.
ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Amara.
Sancho.
Okay. So prime example, right? So this is something that you just brought up, right? So now it's contradicting. What you said, I understood what you said, right? So it kind of got off subject a little bit. When you had stated what you said, why are black people always going at black people, right? So you have every race that's going at each other, right? So what you just asked is what you just did. So can you please tell this panel or everybody on here why did you feel the way you so you're going to answer your own question with me asking you this, you're going to answer your own question. Why is black and black, black and black, black and black? Okay, so now you have this black brother right here, and I'm pretty sure that you black. So could you please tell us the reason why when he said what he said and you got offended? That's why white people get
Did
offended
I
when
say I
white
would
people.
do
Hold
it?
on, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me land my plane. Let me land, then hey, I'll give you the runway. But what you just said, you said that we can get it popping or whatever you just said, right? So the same feelings that you just had is the same feeling white folks have against white folks, black folks have against black folks, Mexicans have against Mexicans. It's you're gonna defend yourself no matter what, physical or verbally. You're gonna defend yourself.
Talking is one thing. I'm not going to take out no, a weapon and do something to that man. And also he wouldn't have
Let's look
said
past
if we
that.
were in person.
Let's look past
Let me
that.
no hold on. Let me say he asked me a question. If we were in person, he wouldn't have said all that. That's number one. He wouldn't have said
We
that.
would
He people
definitely, hey,
people would have said
if we
stuff
was in
online that
person,
they
I
don't say in
definitely
person.
say
That's number
everything I said to
one.
you. I'm that type. I'm gonna say it to your face. So don't
Okay,
say if
but
I wasn't in person, I wouldn't
no,
say.
sweetie, you
I
wouldn't have said
would
nothing
do
to
the same
me. Like
thing.
I said, you wouldn't have said nothing to me.
Oh yeah.
Like I
Well, I'm done
said,
talking.
he
All
wouldn't have said
right.
nothing
I'm
to me
done talking.
because for
Nick,
one,
Nick,
he would know
Nick.
better than to
I'm
do that
sorry.
All right,
because
wait.
Nick,
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
pause. All right, wait. Rasta. All right,
I say
Rasta.
I'm sorry, Nick. I
Okay, all right.
apologize, Nick.
Okay, Rasta. Okay, outside of the spat between you and Amara, we're gonna set that aside. It's Juneteenth. We black first over anything, and we're gonna be nice.
if he saw me in person, he was trying to fuck me.
Okay,
That's
wait.
number one. That's
Wait,
for real. He would be trying to get at
Amara.
me. If he saw me in person and all this body, bitch, he was trying to fuck a bitch like me. Cause he can't get no woman like me. That's number one.
Amara, if you
That
can't
would
stop,
never
I'm
happen,
Oh
talking
my
Monique.
now.
God,
Keep
shut
it moving.
up.
I'm talking to Rasta really quickly. We're gonna move past that because, like I said, it's Juneteenth. We're
Yeah,
not gonna do the personal attacks. We're not gonna do that. I already told Rasta to
I
stop, so
respect your
I'm asking you
platform,
to
and I
stop.
done with it.
All right. So Rasta, outside of
What?
the back and forth that you just had, did you watch the footage? And what is your thoughts on the newly released surveillance?
Man, look, you could see clearly everything that happened. You could see he was sitting down, and you could see a crowd of people around the youth. So the youth got his hand, they put the hands on the youth, and he did what he gotta do. It's self-defense because it was one of him and how much of them? You gotta fight your way out. If you're back against the wall, what you gonna do? Fall? Or you gonna try to bang your way out of the back? Yeah, you gotta get up out that corner. You gotta move around. So if you have people surround you, you gotta do whatever it is. Whoever you gonna get, you gonna get. But the person you get, everybody gonna run like roach. It's just like in the dark. When roach come out in the dark and you turn the light on, roach scatter. And that's what happened. All them roach went over to a big man and tried to eat the big man. And the big man come out on top. So when he do what he do, everybody scatter. And all he had to do is get away, because if he did not get away, they'd have do him in. So he did the right thing. And I don't care what nobody say. He did the right thing. So whoever got anything negative to say about that youth there, I stand by that dude all day, every day, till the day I die, till he come home. Real talk. And that's how I feel about that. Because if you have a crowd of people around you and it's just you, what you gonna do? You're back against the wall. You gonna let everybody jump on you, or you gonna try to fight your way out of there, however, or whatever, and whatever you got to do to get out of there. And everybody don't need a gun. A knife will work. All you gotta do is grab one of them and drive them a bumper cloth knife and watch everybody run. And that's why exactly what happened, and he dissolved that in a pussy hole. Just so. Black power, I don't talk.
All right. Thank you, Rasta. I just wanted to hear from you really quickly. Monica hasn't spoke yet. Monica, what is your thoughts that you want to add?
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
I have a question for Crystal. Crystal, I'm
Yes,
trying
ma'am.
to kind of like raise some at my job, like funds and stuff. Can we go through your page, um or can I DM Neat to get the information where if anything that I raise, I can send it to you to send to the family?
I think that Carmelo's dad is creating some type of fund. So no, I don't. We don't want to get the funds, but what you can do is you can get in contact with Neek, and you can get in contact with me at mbpp national chair at gmail.com. And once you message me, I'll give you my direct number for the trolls that are on here. You can go to
Got it. Got it.
mbpp And but what we'll do is whatever source that uh Mr. Anthony has in place for
Mm-hmm.
funds, then we'll direct you guys that way. And then also we want to be we're going to be trying to organize some type of political action to pressure the attorney general to release the tape and a few other things, because that other the tape that the school has that other
Mm-hmm.
people got to saw, we need to be able to that needs to become public. So there's a few things that are coming up, and so those who are interested in being part of organizing further can contact us at nbpp.org is the website. But you can hit me up directly at nbpp national chair at gmail.com for that direct demonstration you're
Okay.
trying to do, sister. All right.
Okay. And then Neek, so I seen the video, and coming from California, um our racism is systemic, it's in laws. But what I seen from your coverage was full on bigotry. I cried for 3 days because they railroad him. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Um, I went to school. I have my degree in criminal justice. Um, and he didn't have a right to a fair trial at all under no circumstances. For me, in that video, you literally can see like hands throwing, pushing, like you could just see shadows of things. But if you look carefully, you really can see kind of how the movement is placed. Um, and then thirdly, I feel like what was Lord, dang it. Because I had this all out mapped out in my mind. Anyway, it was just it was a lot of social injustice. But I also seen the that daddy, when the gag order was lifted, his true colors really came out. But for me, I feel like in it, but for me, I feel like every piece of this puzzle got to play out the way it's playing out, because Collins County is it's supposed to be under a reckoning, because
Mm-hmm.
they have did too much to black people there, all the way back in what, the 1940s, 50s, 60s, maybe even further back from that. I feel
And
like
we about to
now it's
see, not to cut you off, but he's in charge of Jake Lang's case. He just barred Jake Lang from Texas. But when that case actually gets a sentence, we're going to see the little tap that he gives him and all
Mhm.
of those things as well.
Yeah, but when you look at a puzzle, and when you moving strategically in certain things, not saying for them, remember they the ops, right? When the ops think they moving and they thinking they moving smoothly and strategically, sometimes they fall like a chess game, right? You thinking you got it, you laying them puzzle pieces in place, but you're not really paying attention how the game is played. Even like a spade game, when you thinking, oh, I'm gonna win this game, and you thinking you're gonna win, and you have one, you fumble one card, two cards, then you don't, you kind of thinking you got those six cards, right? And then you be like, dang, I set myself up. I see this whole thing play out like that. It's he's setting himself up. They all setting themselves up. Even, the other lady. You know who I mean? I don't want to say no names on here, but you know who I'm talking about? Everybody on
The
the panel?
troll.
Yeah, the troll. Thank you. She's setting herself up too. She thinks she's so smart, she's silly, right? Because she thinks she know how she playing the game, but all she doing is falling into the trap for it all to be exposed. And I believe Carmelo appeal is going to be granted, and it's going to go through. And I believe his family going to get the right type of attorney, and they going to go in there and they going to do what's necessary. And we all going to come back on this panel sooner than later, and we all gonna have a discussion about it, how they really thought they was really winning, and in the end they set themselves up for the fall.
Because to me, when I look at it, it's too many things that's coming out that's like, okay, he did this. Oh, he said this. Oh, they put the gag order on this and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sitting back like, yeah, they playing right into the game to fall apart for them, even though it's unfortunate he have to go to jail for 35 years, which that was self-defense all day long. He stood his ground. I would have did the same thing. Actually, I have done the same thing, you know? But at the end of the day, I feel like our people need to begin to stand together and not fight against each other so that we can come against them because they have oppressed us long enough. They've oppressed us long enough. But I really appreciate what you do, Neek, at night. I thank you.
Thank
I was
you.
praying for you while you was out there because that seemed like that was scary. I thank you, Rasta. I don't think he on here no more. I thank you, Rasta,
Oh yeah,
for
I there. I there.
standing guard, 10 toes down to the ground, and letting them
All the
know that
way.
authority was there. Like y'all ain't got nothing. You stepping on the necks of the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I thank
that's what
you
we
for
do.
that. I thank you, Miss
Respect.
Crystal, for what you do, standing up for our people, even just being a voice, because some people that live in Texas, see, I'm not from Texas, but I visited before, and you could tell they're afraid to really stand up and speak because they live in it. So it's easier to just be like, okay, I ain't saying too much or nothing. But I commend every one of them people that stood outside that courthouse and screamed and shout and came against all them people who were trying to oppress them and silence them not to say nothing.
And
Like, and
actually,
it's
all the
Juneteenth,
people
baby.
outside was
We standing strong.
agitators and instigators, and they was basically just posting the black people's response to them agitating and instigating. But thank you, Monica. I'm gonna go to Tammy Nicole. Tammy Nicole, did you speak already?
I did not. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
go ahead. And thank you so much, Monica, for the prayers and everything. They were definitely needed because it was a lot of heavy energy there. So I do appreciate you so much. Tammy Nicole,
I
um,
mean,
let me know what you think.
I think it's really sad that on Juneteenth, we still, some of us, not all, let me say it again, some of us, not all, don't get it and we don't see what's going on. I don't know if it's education, I don't know if it's comprehension, I don't know if it's not being able to think rationally. But what we saw in Texas was literally a railroad type of case. And I don't know if people don't understand what that means. I don't know if people don't understand the history, but I would suggest people start looking at what railroading means, the prison to school pipeline means, covert and overt racism. Because in Texas, this boy, I personally feel, this is my opinion, it's not neat. I personally feel like everybody was connected, the DA, the judge, and the defense lawyer. I think they knew that the Anthony family didn't have the know-it-all to hire who they wanted to. So I think they were pushed into a situation that they thought was good for them. But as more comes out, I think we see that this is kind of all together. And people who live in the county are saying the same thing. This has been going on for forever. So let me bring it back full circle. And Neek, I'm just going to use you as an example really quickly. I think that this was Neek's first time seeing an actual railroad happen inside and outside of the courtroom.
Yeah.
She was crying because she was mad that there was nothing she could do. She said on the first day that she went, she noticed the man looking at her the whole time. Then day 2, now here comes old girl and him. Day 3, 4, and 5. Now she in her car crying. She said when she first got there, the sheriffs aren't that bad. They was actually talking to us. They was nice. But on the day that verdict was about to be read, the sheriffs didn't even look at her is what it sounded like to me, especially when she needed them. So for her to be so upset at seeing what's going on inside the courtroom and outside of the courtroom and her be affected by it, I think we need to listen a little bit more. She's watching a boy lose his whole life and she can't do nothing about it. People are telling her, oh, the defense should have did this, the prosecutor should have did this. It was a whole show in that courtroom if you listen to her explain it. And it sounds like everybody was in on it and there was nothing nobody could do about it. That
All the
judge,
way down to the victimhood on Facebook and locking everybody else out from telling the truth and then leaving a tyrant in the court to cause chaos on Facebook for all of the people to see that's in that community. All of it was orchestrated to
it
me.
was all put together, all of it. And I think this is why I say Nick is going to be in the history books, because for the first time, I think in my generation, and I'm 42, we can actually see something go wrong. And I know that it's going to correct itself because he did not get a fair trial. No matter if he had a knife, a cleat cleaner, let's be honest. Racism in Texas, especially in that county, means nothing good for Black people. If that boy would have pushed Austin down and Austin would have broke his neck and not made it because it was raining, and I don't know if y'all know, but I've been to plenty of school games. Them bleachers will take you out in a second when it's raining. If he would have pushed Austin or Hunter and they would have broke their neck, Karmelo still would have been in court. It don't matter if he had a knife or not. So yes, school events, no matter if they're on campus or off campus, it's still school and their rules still apply. But when you're not on school grounds and you're on someone else's grounds, there is a state law that happens. So two things could be true at the same time. However, we come in with why he had the knife. My question is, why didn't Austin go get a teacher? Right?
They were very close when they showed us the other footage of where the coaches were and how close in proximity to the tent, and the coach themselves said we didn't even know nothing was going on. We couldn't even hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They were very like they could have got to a coach in under a minute. That's how close the coaches were, and that's how close the coach who was a veteran responded. And he would like it was literally right there.
Like close. And like Nick was saying, when she kept saying all they have to do is pull these cameras. Now, y'all know if Nick would have said something crazy coming out of that courthouse, because they do have people listening, that they wouldn't have let her back in the second, third, fourth, fifth day after she kept getting harassed. All she said was,
they could never block me because I never gave them that. I never
and
said
that's what
not
I'm
one
saying
word to her. It would have been a lot.
She said, just check the cameras because I know I'm good. That's it.
Facts.
They could have done that, but they didn't. And so what she said after that was, I'm watching them back each other up, even though they're wrong. In the courtroom, she said, I'm watching these kids be rehearsed and back each other up, although we all know they're wrong. If you're a parent or an aunt who's close or a grandmama, you can tell when kids is lying. You can tell when a group of kids is lying. Okay, that's the truth. That's a lie. That's the truth. You can tell. So if she's watching them lie in court and back each other up, come outside and she's saying, just get the cameras. I'm good. I don't care. They still wanted to fight. They still wanted to fight, not physically, but they still wanted to intimidate her to where we had to have Black Panthers protect her. Do you know how much we cried when we saw that she was actually protected, because we know what can happen in Texas? I get it. He shouldn't have had a knife. That's how y'all feel. However, when I was coming up in high school, my parents gave me a pocket knife and mace and said, if anything happens to you, you have to defend yourself.
I carried 2 cans of mace. I talked about when I was 19 years old, a boy called me he called me a bitch or whatever, and I emptied out a whole can of mace on his face. I had mace religiously. But go ahead.
Two things can be true at the same time. You're not supposed to have a knife. Okay, that's cool. But in the South, I know my cousins was taught to take a knife because when they come home from school, anything can happen. whether it was right or wrong. I know in my household and my family, that's what we were taught. If you have two boys that are 200 pounds standing over you, then you have 4 or 5 of his other friends down there looking. And on top of that, the boy who invited you into the tent is sitting here acting like he's videoing and instigating, and he don't know him no more. I don't know how anybody could say Karmelo shouldn't have used the knife or shouldn't have had anything or should have just walked away. Miss Amara, when Mr. Rasta came at you and said 2 words, he said 2 words, you was ready to pop him. You ain't hold back. You was ready. Now that's unproportional because he was calm and he called you 2 names. You could have called him 2 and left it at that, but you didn't. You was ready to pop him real quick. We can't say what we could and could not
She said
do.
that's proportional.
It's unproportional. Like, she came hot and he just said it twice, 3 times, real calm in his voice. We can't say what other people would do, but I think it's sad that we're not getting that there was covert racism going on, overt racism going on inside and outside. They were backing each other up the whole time. And then after that, unfortunately, it sounds like people in Texas, and don't take this wrong, my Texas people, are just like lay down and die people. And I don't mean literally. Yeah, and I don't mean literally.
That ain't it at all.
It sounds like some, not all, but it sounds like, especially the younger generation, it sounds like they're all saying, well, you know how it goes, so you shouldn't shake the table.
That was that young dude. People listen, everybody, most people have something to protect themselves. That's the culture. A pocket knife, it's like a pen. I mean, come on. That's like, it's
right. But what I'm saying is, with them
you
not
get a gun since you turned 18. It's like, folks stand up for themselves, especially Dallas, Texas. See, Collin County is a place where people who, to be honest, black people that don't want to be in the black community go to Collin County. Let's just keep it real. Black people that's trying to get away from black people but that family is not from Texas, so they probably didn't know we could give them that because they were from New Orleans. But people stand up for themselves. Like, don't nobody, they got a saying in Texas, you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of sayings, but ain't nobody scary, ain't nobody slow. And people find that out real quick down here.
That's why I said the younger generation, it sounds like, because it's been 2 people that came up here and said, well, that's just how it go here, and he should have just walked away, and then
that was
that's what I said, the younger generation, the 2 younger ones, not you.
Them youngsters know, look, that was just,
but the youngsters, I mean, they have drills, they do what they do, so I don't understand how, but it sounds like some of the younger generation are laid down and die. Like,
outside that courthouse, it was so many young people out there. It was young people put up a hole. They made a hole like almost a billboard. And what did it say, y'all? It says, what did Karmelo say? It said, touch me and find out. You know what I'm saying? People understand that. It was people still outside the courthouse, as of last Saturday. You got, just like how
that's
you
why
have.
I said some. That's why I said some, not all. But it sounds like there are a good amount of people who are just like, don't shake the table too much. Just be a good boy and get out of there. And that's sad. I think that's really sad. No, that's why I said some, not all. Some, not all.
The majority like touch me and find out.
Not all. That's what I keep saying. Some, not all. But I think
I hear you. But I'm saying the majority are like touch me and find out.
Are not ready to shake the table enough, because I think that Karmelo could have used a lot more support outside the courtroom. I think that people are talking about it, which is good. So I think, like you said, there's going to be a reckoning for Collin County. It will be slow. But I think that it's sad that some of us don't want to put up the fight.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. Summer Mom. I can't see the whole thing. Summer Mom Row. Summer going once. Summer going twice. Summer going. All right. Please and listen before. Have you spoke yet? Please
No, I
listen
haven't.
before.
I
Okay,
haven't.
what's your thoughts?
All right. First, I want to say happy Juneteenth to everyone who actually acknowledges that day. And for you, Neek, I want to say I've said it before in a lot of chats that you're a real one. You went to
Thank
L-
you.
you went to LA to do the Tory thing, and then you went to Frisco. Not too many of us going to do that. So I just want to acknowledge that.
On your own dime at that. I didn't get sponsored. I didn't I swiped my card
Exactly.
every step of the way. But yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I used to live in Texas. I lived in Austin for quite some time. In the state of Texas, blacks are the minority. The majority is Hispanics, and then you have whites up under them, and blacks are at the bottom of the pole. So people saying that blacks need to fall in place and do this and do that, they can't. We are the minority in the state of Texas and a lot of other states too. What I think happened with Carmelo is everybody had a hand in, his potential downfall, from the judge to the jury to the attorneys, even his parents. I saw the show where you had the guy on, and who was a friend of the family, and he said they only had a day or something like that, a weekend to get an attorney. I felt like, and this is just my opinion, I think they should have did their research before they got this potential attorney that they did get. Because number one, you're paying.
And sorry to cut you off, but just because you retained an attorney within a day doesn't mean you have to keep him. Also,
Exactly. And the other thing about that is, well, let me just finish that first. They could have, like I said, did their research and made sure that this was the right attorney, because they're paying him a extensive amount of money, and he's representing their son, who has the quote unquote, I guess, deal of going, either getting off, um, going to prison for a long time, or vice versa. And the other thing I was going to say about that is, um, as far as the one day that they had, they could have went to the courts, or either did research. When call you have attorneys that you can go online, like licensed attorneys, and you pay a little fee and get legal advice about situations like this. They could have did that and filed a motion for continuance so that they could have enough time to get a good attorney to represent Carmelo. But once again, they did what they thought was right. Um, as far as the video, I kind of agree, with everybody else. I know a lot of black people that saying he killed somebody, or whatever. I don't know if I can say that on your show or not, but a lot of black people saying that he killed somebody, somebody's dead, this and that. But the fact of the matter is, you're just looking at one side of it. You're not looking at the instances of what caused that, or how it got to that point. I seem to think that we're only seeing one portion of what happened. I think that Carmelo and either the twins, one or two, maybe both of them, this wasn't their first time getting into it. I think that it was incidents that happened prior to this, maybe one, two, who knows how many. For him to act the way he acted in this particular instance, I just think that it was something that happened prior that we don't know about. And that's my take on that.
all right. Thank you so much. Also, you guys who are on the live, If you guys don't know, I am independent. Sometimes we'll do these lives and YouTube will figure out later. We don't want to monetize this. So your community support is important. My Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you donate if you can. Neek at Night Media to my Cash App. And if you ain't got no funds to donate, make sure you hit the like button and leave a comment at the very least. We appreciate all of the support and engagement. And if you don't like me and you think you don't like my commentary, hit the dislike button. I don't give a damn. Put something on the table and showing that you was here and YouTube know, hey, I came through. I don't mess with it, or I mess with it, or what have you. Now, thank you so much to you. Please listen and let me go to Cliff. Oh, wait. Before we go to Cliff, Dallas 214, Texas. Did you speak already?
No, I haven't spoke yet.
Okay, go ahead.
I just had I just had like one or two things to say. First of all, I do live in Collin County, so it is very racist, especially since after this case, like you going to the gas station, going to Walmart, you can just feel like the racism like kind of picking up since this happened. Another thing, I had a friend about 4 years ago. He had a case in Collin County, had the same exact judge. Um, he wanted me to like come in and speak on his behalf. So when I came to the courtroom, the judge kicked me out. As soon as me and my friend was the only black people in there. The
Wait, who
judge
wanted
kicked.
you? I missed some of it. Sorry, my bad. I had looked down at my phone.
Excuse me,
Start
excuse me,
over.
excuse me. Sorry to cut y'all off. Sorry to cut this roster. Say 214. Who is you?
Yeah, what did you
Oh,
say?
you
Start
say
from the top.
214 Dallas? I
Yeah,
Stand
want to
down,
like
I'm
Ross.
from
Stand
Dallas.
down, Ross.
I live
Stand
in
down.
Dallas, born and raised in Dallas. That's why I just like Crystal said, most people that go to Collin County is people that's trying to get away from, the Oak Cliffs and all that type of stuff. So I do live in Frisco. I've been living out here for about 5 years. It is sundown. It is very sundown now. I don't leave my house after when the sun goes down, basically. Um, you was asking who am I?
I never heard of
Worries.
you. That's why we just
No
saying.
worries. This
But
no
then we're gonna talk
stand down,
later.
Ross.
We gonna.
Okay, so basically, my friend he got tried in the same exact court about 4 years ago. It was like 2022. Um, I can if I went inside this exact courtroom. Neek, you went in this courtroom too. So I haven't been there. It's like seats in there. It's like a real nice courtroom. I went in there and I was in there for about 3 minutes. And I sat down. It's some courts have the bench. This court has where like real seats, like you're at an NBA game or something. So I
Yeah.
sat down in there.
Nice seats. Not they don't got benches like the church pews like some of the courtrooms have. They have actual seats that got cushion and
Christian,
each
this is one of the
individual.
nicest courtrooms
Yeah.
I've ever been in. When
Yeah.
I went in there, it was super nice. So I sat almost at the last row because I was just trying to just be a fly on the wall for my friend's case. He wanted me to come in and talk to the judge for him on the behalf, and the judge shut it down immediately. He kicked me out the courtroom, so I waited in the hallway for my friend. My friend came back out crying, said he got like 15 years probation for something that he didn't even do. He was actually from New Orleans also. He wasn't from Texas, so he didn't understand like where he was at or what he had got himself into, what county he was in. He didn't understand all that stuff. So I just want to say Collin County is very racist. I feel like the only way Carmelo could have won this case if he would have changed it to Dallas County, he would have definitely got like negligent homicide or manslaughter or something like that. But in Collin County, it don't matter who your lawyers is. It was already set for him to lose as soon as it happened, and you can kind of see that in the video they released today. Like Frisco police do not play with black people. It's not a thing. They don't play with black folks. So it's kind of sad that I live out here and y'all all say y'all in California and people all over the world is talking about this, and I live 10 minutes away from that stadium. So I've been
I
following
just
this
don't
case.
think that I could live in a sundown town and feel comfortable. I I hear that you say that a lot of Black people move there for a better life, but is it really a better life to move away from your people and go to where you can't even leave your house at night?
I mean, you can leave your house at night, but it's um it's like it's infatuated with police. I know y'all seen that white Frisco car that they put Carmelo in. If I leave the house right now, you're gonna see 20 of those as soon as you leave the house. They're everywhere, and they do not play with Black people. If they pull you over and you're Black, they searching your car. You're 9 times out of 10 going to jail.
But
It's a
I'm
lose
saying,
lose.
is that a better life though? You said that you moved there to get away from the hood, quote unquote, like Oak Cliff and all that kind of stuff, or Dallas or whatever. Is that a better
It's a
life though?
better living situation. It's not. You know, we can still go to Dallas. Dallas is only 15, 20 minutes away. You don't. I would say it's a better living situation. You don't want to live around the people that you know that you're scared to like to go to sleep at night. It's a little if you know what I mean. It's a little different living over there, safer, but
Oh,
when you have a kid in this county that's a Black kid, he already lost, you know, at the beginning. And then I want to talk about the pocket knife. Like I said, I'm from Dallas. I went to white schools. 95% of white boys carry those pocket knives in their pocket, and you can see it sticking out they pocket, like clipped onto their pocket. It's just what they've been doing. I graduated 15 years ago. They've been doing this since then. Like it's never been a problem if you don't use it. That's how I always looked at it. They can bring it to school if they don't use it in a bad way, but they'll pull it out to cut something, or you know they use it as scissors. This is what white boys have always done, growing up in white schools.
All right. Thank you so much to you, Dallas 214. Somebody said, can people finish their sentence? Dang. Listen, we already been on almost 3 hours, so you got to get to the point quickly because patience starts to run thin. Not to you, Dallas. I'm just saying to the person in the chat, like we trying to get people to land the plane a little bit quicker because we're gonna end it at the 3 hour mark. Cliff, let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you so much for giving perspective, Dallas 214.
You
My thoughts are, I mean, it seems like I've been keeping pretty close attention to this case. Actually, I keep pretty close attention to a lot of cases. I live in Dallas. Um, I don't see all the racism, I guess. maybe I'm different. I travel all over the world. I don't see all the racism in Dallas. I love Dallas. I love Texas, the best state in America. But as far as this case is concerned, it was actually pretty clear cut to me. I mean, I think Carmelo was definitely guilty. All the facts, it's not due to race, it's due to all the facts of the case. Um, so you got two kids at a track meet, and I watched the video. I didn't see any, you know, jumping or commotion or him getting beat down, nothing like that. All the witnesses testified that, you know, he touched him or pushed him or whatever, and he pulled out a knife and stabbed him so hard in the heart to where the knife pierced his bone in his chest. That's pretty damn hard if you ask me. Um, so that's the reason why Carmelo went to jail. If we're gonna be honest, so it's not due to race, not due to he got railroaded, nothing like that. Um, you know, you come to Texas, you stab somebody in the heart, you kill them, you think you're gonna get off from that? You're not, especially when all the evidence is going against you. And there's a lot of confusion um what self-defense is. Self-defense has to be proportional. It's not it's
What's that?
not
Hey, pause. What keep
yes.
beeping? Is that you with that doo-doo? Is that you?
No, that's not me. That's not me.
Okay, everybody else mute their mic. Finish. Go ahead.
Okay, but self-defense, there's a lot of confusion on that. It has to be proportional. Yes,
Are you
Austin.
comparing? are you comparing this to other similar cases with white defendants in the same area? Do they get the same sentences
I'm
or charges?
I'm saying I'm comparing this to the law. And so
No, but the
when
law,
you speak
wait,
when you
pause, pause,
hold, can I,
wait,
okay,
no,
okay,
wait, pause.
okay, go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you finish. But
Okay, go ahead.
when people say like, oh, I'm just basing it off of the law, I am too, off of the same law that was applied to the other white defendants that did not even get charged with the same level of charges that he got. So it's like we have this
What
thing where
what
we
what
say,
what what what
oh,
white defendants are you speaking about?
The white guy in Belton. That's what she's talking about. It's about 2 hours
I don't
away.
see. I
He got
don't. So self defense. It's particular to each individual case. So if you're going to talk about a different case, you got to. I mean, I haven't seen that case. And if it's particular to different states, particular to different
I'm talking about
It
situations.
happened. It
Every
happened in
Texas.
Belton County, bro. It was about an hour away from Dallas. It happened in 2022. He stabbed a guy in the bathroom. It was a Mexican guy. He
so I
killed
don't.
him.
So again, every case. When you talk about self defense, every case is different. You
It's
can't.
not
You know,
true.
it
But what
is
I'm
true. It
saying
is
is this,
true. Every
right?
case is.
Listen, wait,
It is true.
pause. I'm gonna let you finish. But
Okay.
the reason why it's important to have other cases to compare it to in Texas is because you will see the facts of self-defense in these other cases that have much more premeditated nature. So in that case, he actually had conversations that he was gonna fight and he planned to fight and all of these things where he planned this and he was going to hurt the guy badly and all these premeditated things, and he didn't get even remotely close to the same sentence or the same charge. So when we say what self-defense is, we have to also look at other self-defense cases in the same area, and you have to compare the facts to this case if we're going to have an honest conversation about what self-defense is and what it isn't, because there's other cases with much more premeditated nature, much more egregious acts, much more planning involved, and they got a much lighter sentence. But I'm gonna let you finish and I'm not going to interrupt anymore. Just don't be disingenuous, but go ahead.
Cliff, are you
Okay.
white?
No, I'm black. But that doesn't matter. But it, like again, what I was saying was, as far as the self defense, it was not proportional. He barely touched him. He pushed him, whatever. And he just stabbed him in the heart. You can't do that. First of all, you can't do that. And then you have all the witnesses that were standing around, black, white, all races. They all said the same thing. Now, maybe their stories may have been a little bit different here, there, whatever, as far as like minor details. But on the main points, you know, they all said that Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor. So you can't claim self-defense if you're the aggressor. First of all, that's the
Wait, pause, because I feel like you're being disingenuous, and I want people to be able to express when they have difference of opinion. But just because somebody says, I could say Cliff came on my show and he was aggressive as heck. Does that make it true? You didn't come on here aggressive. You haven't argued with anybody. You didn't start confrontation with anybody. Like, just because somebody says that you're the aggressor, I could say Cliff is the aggressor. He came on here with a negative opinion and being disingenuous. Like, just because I think that you're being disingenuous doesn't mean that that is true, because if you have to base it on everything else they said did not align with him being the aggressor. He never got out of his seat. He never put his hands on Austin first. He never walked up on Austin. Austin walked up on him. There were several boys taunting him. Like, we have to, like, you can have a difference of opinion. You can feel like he should have never had the knife. I get all of that. But to act like all of the other
I didn't say anything about the knife, but the knife is kind of why he had it. To me, that's not irrelevant, but it's not the main issue. You know, you can have a bat. You beat somebody, you kill somebody with the bat. Does that mean that the bat if it's legal, does it mean, does it make the crime okay? No.
I'm talking about Karmelo being the aggressor per your words, just because
He
a
was
student
he
said
was
that he was
you
the
had people
aggressor.
testify that he was the aggressor, and
I don't
it
care that
doesn't,
they testified and said
it's
that. What
irrelevant
does
what.
the
But
testimony
can I
say
finish my point,
other
please?
than that? That's what I'm saying. You're being disingenuous. Just because
Can I
I
finish my
said
point, and
that
then
you're
maybe,
the
and then you
aggressor, does
can.
that make you the aggressor? No.
Well, okay. If I understand what you're saying, like as far as the aggressor, you may look at somebody being aggressive differently. I may look at somebody being aggressive differently.
What
What I'm
makes him
saying
the
is,
aggressor?
what
What makes
if
him
you
the
let me
aggressor?
finish, and I
You
can
gotta get
explain
past that
it.
part. Okay, go ahead. What makes him the
Okay,
aggressor?
if you just let me finish, I promise you I'll explain it. So doesn't matter what I think, what you think. Only thing that matters is what those 12 jurors think. And so they're going to look at the situation. They're going to analyze all the evidence as far as the
I'm
witnesses, what
not
they said.
talking about, I'm not talking to the 12 jurors. I'm talking to Cliff. Cliff, what made him the aggressor outside of a kid simply saying that he was the aggressor? What made him?
Okay,
I'm
this is
talking to you.
uh,
I'm
okay.
not
This is
talking
what
to anybody that was on the jury.
Okay,
I'm talking to you.
this is why I believe he was the aggressor. Okay, so he was the aggressor because he said, "Touch me and see what happens." That's the reason why that's the reason why they got the premeditation in there as well. It's when you say, "Touch me and see what happens." Listen, I travel everywhere. I go to a lot of different countries. If I'm somewhere, if I go to Colombia and I'm in you know, some venue, and I'm surrounded by Colombians and they all telling me to leave. If I'm scared for my life, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna be touch me and see what happens. I'm gonna say, all right, well, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get out of there as soon as possible because I'm afraid in that moment, and I don't want any problems. So I'm gonna leave. But what I'm saying is that to me, he was the aggressor because he premeditated and said, touch me and see what happens. So he's telling you what he's going to do in a roundabout way. If if you touch him, that's what he's saying.
So when your
So
mom told you, and I'm gonna use this person's analogy, right? So when your mom told you not to touch the stove because it can burn your hands, is that her telling you to touch the stove? Or is that saying if you touch this stove, it's gonna burn your hands? Like,
I don't understand that analogy. What are you saying? If my mom told me to touch the stove, and I'm
you
just
don't
saying it.
understand?
I don't understand
You
what your
said
analogy.
that him saying touch me and find out made him the aggressor, right?
Yes, yes.
But could that
'Cause
also be a warning as well? Because if your mom, and I said I'm going to use the analogy that Myra gave, if your mom told you don't touch the stove, she's not telling you to touch the stove because she wants you to touch the stove. She's giving you a warning that the stove is going to burn you if you touch it.
Uh, I'm just saying that as far as what Carmelo was when he said that to me it made him the aggressor. They were saying the witnesses testified that Austin
Please
did
stop
not.
telling me what that witnesses said. What?
The witnesses testified in court that Austin said repeatedly that, look, I don't want to fight you at this
They
track
didn't say
meet.
that repeated. They did. That was one
That's
person's
what they testified
testimony.
to.
That was
They
one
testi
wait, pause. I was in the courtroom. Each student said something different. One student said that, yes.
Okay, so they testified that
No, you keep
Austin.
saying they as a group did not say that. They didn't say that.
Okay, well,
A student out of
testimony
20-something
was presented in the
people.
courtroom. Look, testimony was presented in the courtroom that Austin did not want to. He vividly stated that he didn't want to fight him
And there was
at the
also,
track meet.
did you hear the testimony where Austin said fuck you pussy and all this stuff, and they was calling each other curse words, and Austin called him a bitch and all that? Did you, or are we taking everybody's testimony, or are we just picking one person? Because again, there was multiple people who said different things. I can go to the student who testified that Austin was calling him bitches, and he was calling him out his name, and he was taunting. Like, each student said something completely different.
Well, every student, even Austin's defense team, their witnesses said that Austin was not Austin, but Karmelo was the aggressor.
I don't care about them saying that he was the aggressor. What does the actions tell you? Are you the aggressor?
I just explained that to you.
The actions, not because a student said a buzzword. They all said the buzzword that the prosecution asked them to say. Hit this buzzword.
This is what they testified to in court.
Buzzword aside, what did their actions show?
His actions show that he killed Austin Metcalf. That's what his actions show.
What did Austin's actions show? Buzzwords
aside. Austin didn't want to. He said he didn't want to fight him.
Based on one person, but what about the person who?
But that was presented in court. Was that presented in court though?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so that's the testimony that was at court.
Just like the one person that said what you said, but there was also a kid that said that Austin was calling him a bitch.
Well, Austin, he didn't pull out a knife and stab nobody though.
But he put his hands on him.
But he didn't pull out a knife and stab nobody. Even though you put your hands on, that's what I'm saying. People have this self-defense conflicted. Just because you put your hands on somebody, you bump into somebody, you step on somebody's shoe, does not give you the right to stab somebody. So let's be honest. And Karmelo was the one in the wrong. He's the one that pulled that knife out and killed that boy.
The kids told you. Because the prosecution needed the kids to hit a buzzword, and they said the buzzword, so that made him wrong because they said it.
Because they testified, absolutely. That's why the jury came back and found him guilty. Okay. And then that's the reason why. And he even admitted it. Even the cop, he said to the cop, "Yeah, I did it." So he admitted it, and he didn't even take the stand. Why didn't he take the stand if he? First of all, in a self-defense case, you need to take the stand. If you're going to prove self-defense, you need to get on that stand, and the jury needs to hear you. They need to hear what your how you felt in that moment. That's very important, right? Don't you think? So why didn't he take the stand? If he was so innocent, why didn't he take the stand? Answer that question.
Okay, so now you're being extra because nobody said that he was so innocent. Not one time did we say that he's so innocent. They both.
Okay, so he's guilty.
I have to agree with Nick. Cliff, you're being extra. No one said he was so innocent. Everybody knows that he.
But people are saying that he should get off.
Everybody knows that he committed a crime. What we're arguing is that he shouldn't have got the penalty for the crime that was committed. That's what we're arguing.
I disagree with that. I think he got the right. He got the right charge. It was first degree murder. He took a life, and it didn't have to happen like that. He could have easily walked away. And if I had a son, I would tell him. If I got nephews, I tell them all the time. You know, you don't take a knife to school. You don't. If you have an argument with somebody, you don't stab somebody and kill them. You don't do that. That's wrong. And he got the absolute right charge. That's first degree murder. It's in the state of Texas.
Can I hop in, Nick, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, sir, you're saying that you're using the law. However, the statements that you are providing are not aligning with the Texas law. I have to say it again. Texas is an open carry state. They also have the stand your ground law. Okay, and I came back so I came back to try to help understand the differences in the laws in different states. I'm in Illinois. Okay, I'm also going to say the city so you can better understand.
Where you from? What city?
Chicago.
Okay. All right.
So Texas, open carry, stand your ground. Illinois, you have to have a license to carry, and we have the castle doctrine, meaning we can protect our property and our land. We have a duty to retreat. Okay. Now, everybody in this panel knows and has seen the violence, that with people having tools, the escalated violence in the city. Okay. So people do not always follow the law. So it's amazing to me how, not you, but some people are enhancing this tool when the state approved it. The lady, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't know your name, but she was the part of Black Panthers. She explained that in Texas, everybody has a weapon. We already see in my city, everybody has a weapon. But you're saying that you're following the law, but you're not. You have your own opinion that's outside of the law. It's stand your ground.
I don't have an opinion.
He has a right to stand
It's
his
the fact.
ground.
He doesn't have a right to stand. You have a listen.
The law
You have
says that.
listen. You have a right to stand your ground. Yes, I'm not debating his right to stand his ground. It's if Austin approached him with a knife and said, "Hey, man, get out of here." Absolutely, I would definitely be in Carmelo's in his corner, arguing for Karmelo, because you have to meet. That's what I'm saying. People have a confusion with even with the stand your ground, with the self defense. You have to meet equal force with equal force.
That's
Generally,
okay, but this is what you're.
let me finish you before you cut me off. Generally speaking, you need to meet equal force with equal force.
That's not true.
Hey, brother. Hey, show face right quick, man. Let me see you, man. Are you are you black? Are you
Yeah, I'm
listening to?
black.
Are you
What does that
listening?
matter
No,
though?
no, 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 no.
Why does that matter? Why I'm black? If I'm white, it does not matter. Only thing that matters is the facts, man.
It does matter. That's the
But
fact.
sir, the facts is that Carmelo was seated. They approached him. Do you understand if somebody makes contact with you, you cannot go around putting your hands on people? Do you understand that that's against the law?
I'm not saying what Austin did was right. I never said that.
Okay, but listen, do you understand that if you put your hands on somebody, they have the right to protect yourself? Can we agree on that?
We can agree on that, absolutely. But it has to be proportional. That's the reason why
we
he went to jail.
understand proportionality, but you're saying he doesn't have a right to defend himself.
When did I say that?
You said that earlier.
I did not say that. That's a lie. I never said that. I said. Let me explain my point. Let me explain what I. So before you go, just let me explain what I said.
Can you ask my question real quick?
Wait, no, whilst I'm talking. The proportionality, you do not have to meet force with force. That is not the law. It says if you fear that your life is in danger and someone's been committing a crime and you're where you're supposed to be, you do not have to retreat. That's what the stand your ground law. And when you read the law, if you are where you're supposed to be, and Karmelo was where he was supposed to be, he was somebody approaching him, assaulting him. They were the ones committing the crime.
Listen.
And they were, and you do not have to use.
That's why I said, generally speaking,
force.
you have to meet.
Listen. You do not.
You do. That's why he's in jail. What are you talking about? He's in jail right now.
What I'm talking about is you do not have to meet force with force. That is that is not true.
I never said you have to meet force.
But he's in jail because the witnesses lied.
That's not why he's in jail. He's in jail because he brought a knife to a fist fight, not even a fist fight. It was just like he just touched him.
Sir,
oh God!
Karmelo stood his ground. Unfortunately,
that's not true. That's not true. He didn't stand his ground.
Just like it was the reverse of what happened with Trayvon Martin. Okay, Trayvon Martin was bullied. He did not have a way to defend himself, and Zimmerman killed him. Karmelo was bullied. He defended himself. He stood his ground, and now he lives to fight another day through a trial by an appeal. Read the law. You do not have to retreat if somebody's attacking you. And
I hope the people on this, I hope the people in this chat is not taking this advice, because they're gonna be in jail too.
Yeah,
the reason why. Again, the reason why if Austin had a knife. If Austin had a knife, Karmelo would not be in jail.
Ingenuous, because
I'm not being disingenuous. I'm being honest.
Be honest and show your face.
I'm being honest.
Show to your face. What is your race? How could you say race is not irrelevant?
Race in this case is irrelevant.
No, I'm talking about this conversation. While you speaking so affirmative, I asked you immediately earlier, were you white? You said no.
No, I'm not white.
And you're a black guy? You
Yeah,
black.
I'm black.
I
Yeah.
think. I mean, he sounds like he's
He
black to me.
definitely
The only
black.
thing that I
Yeah,
can
I'm
tell,
black.
No, I prove it
I can
though.
tell is I don't
just,
think that he dates black women, and I don't think that he's liberal.
I
But
just want
he
him to
does
prove
sound
it because
black.
I don't believe him.
Sir, let me ask you a
I may be
question.
wrong, but I
Okay,
think
so
he's
the situation that happened with Neek,
See that he don't date black women though.
do you feel that what happened to Neek, she provoked that? Do you
Well,
think that had race
I
involved?
don't. What happened? What happened to Nick? I'm not sure. What you gotta?
Okay. So you're not aware that
I
Neek was racially attacked at that same courthouse in a matter of
mhm.
days. So for you to say it's not race, she did nothing but show up to report a case and was surrounded by people and intimidated
Yeah,
at that
I can't
courthouse.
really. I
So
can't say. I
how are you
don't.
going to
I
say
mean, I'm sorry.
race is not a
I'm sorry.
factor?
I'm sorry that happened to Nick, but I'm not really aware of, particulars in that, what all that happened.
But can
So, I
you make the
mean,
correlation?
I'm gonna have to get off this line, guys.
can I
But
get off? Can I make the
Did you
correlation of what?
thank
What do
you
you
for
mean?
having us on, Nate. Have a great one.
Thank you,
Did
Sister
you see
Ron.
the video that his dad made? Did you think the video that his dad made was racist?
I didn't see no video.
Oh
My
no.
Okay.
God.
Oh man, come
Come
on,
on now.
bro.
Yeah, come
Hey,
on
hey,
now.
hey, hey, brother. Hey, let me. Hey,
I
brother.
didn't see
Hey,
nothing that happened with
hey,
that.
brother. Hey, brother. Let me ask you one question, brother.
He don't see
Let me ask you
none.
one question, brother. Do
You
you
can't be in Dallas,
do you
bro.
do are you married to a sister, or are you married to
He's not
a
married to a
Caucasian?
black
No.
woman. He's
No, I'm not. I'm
married.
not.
You date white women, right?
I mean, I date who I want to date.
Okay. So
They're not
therefore,
black.
so this is what I'm trying to say. Um,
Hmm.
there is nothing a black man that's married to a white woman or date white women can
Hmm.
tell
We don't even
can
know if it's
tell me
women, to be
about
honest.
a
If he
situation
don't date
that's
black.
going on. So brother, it's kind of hard for me to. It's kind of hard for me to understand what you how you going and how you going with this. Um, yeah, brother,
I'm going at
because
it. I'm going at it from from the
you haven't
facts.
watched anything. You haven't
I
so
mean,
you're listening
that's not. That's
so
hey,
you
brother. Hey,
so you're
brother. That's
listening
not true.
to
That's not
let
true.
me
I've kept. Listen, man.
brother.
Listen,
Let
man.
me land. I'm
Listen.
gonna let you land. I'm gonna let you
Okay.
land, brother. Let
All
me
right.
land.
All right.
Let me land. So everything that these sisters are asking you, have you seen? You're
Hmm.
coming back saying I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So everything that they're discussing on here is things that they're seeing, things that they're going through, and
Hmm.
everything, right? So do you actually know the law? Do you
Yeah, I know the
actually
law.
know?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you don't, because I just
No,
listen.
I do. I do know the law.
I just read the
He said
extra
that man
piece,
remind me of a nigga named Uncle.
they
His last
gave
name is
him
Tom.
No,
where he was,
that's not
huh?
how the law works. You gotta understand how the law works. That's the problem. If you don't
All right,
understand how the
Uncle
law
Tom.
works, you end up in jail like Carmelo
But if you don't
because he don't
understand
understand how
what
the law
stand
works.
your ground is, you're
I
totally
understand what.
lost.
Listen, I understand what stand your
No, you
ground is.
don't. You're
I
you're
do.
saying you do, and your
Hey,
your
Let me
your
let me
your
ask you a
say yes
conversation
question.
to
says you
Uncle
don't.
Tom, man.
Let me ask you a question. Have y'all kept up with? There's another case that's going on. I believe in Tennessee with it's a guy by the name of Chud the Builder. Have you seen that case?
Oh man,
Yep,
Have y'all seen that
Fuck
case?
him.
Was he?
of
But I'm saying,
course.
okay.
Fuck him.
So was he standing his ground?
No.
Okay,
Shit.
but you're
He
he
was
walks
but wait,
threatening
hold
around.
on
people
a second.
life.
Listen.
And he was provoking
He
people.
walks around provoking people.
But was he standing his
He
ground?
listen, brother. He walks around
No.
provoking
And if
people.
you read the
No,
But
law on ground when it comes
but
to
if I'm
In the
going up,
case, in the
if I'm
case,
going based off
provoking,
Carmelo
what
Anthony.
if
Wait,
I'm going
wait,
based off
pause.
what you're saying, if
Everybody
I'm going
pause.
based off
Everybody
what you're
pause.
telling me,
Cliff pause. Everybody pause. Okay, so Cliff is being disingenuous. Number one, Carmelo did not say anything to Austin first. Austin spoke to him first. Carmelo did not put his hands on Austin first. Austin put his hands on him first. In Chud the Builder's case, there's testimony that Chud the Builder fired his weapon before the black man put his hands on him. Also, he antagonized black people before black people said anything to him. It is different things. Cliff is being disingenuous. It's been 3 hours. I'm tired. I love the engagement. I welcome people from different opinions, but I want a different opinion that can open my eyes to look at it a different way. I don't like when people get on here and they're disingenuous and they go with the buzzword just because the prosecution says it. They don't critically think, and it's frustrating. It's infuriating because you can tell the self-hate within certain people when they talk. Now, I'm not saying that Black people are a monolith. We all have different talking points. We all have different outlooks on life. We all have different backgrounds, but there are certain things that from any background, you can look at this situation and see that there was a miscarriage of justice. Now, nobody's saying that Karmelo was innocent. I believe at the very most, he could have been charged with manslaughter. I think that is the most. Anything above manslaughter is a miscarriage of justice. If this was a white boy and Karmelo was a Black victim and the white boy was the murderer, Karmelo Anthony would be resting in peace while his murderer would be serving probably not even a self-defense manslaughter charge. He would probably be free, but at the most, he would have been charged with manslaughter. He would not have been charged with murder one under these facts of this case and this evidence. Anything outside of that is disingenuous. People know that if the roles were reversed, the charges would be different. He would have been charged with negligent homicide or manslaughter at the most, and that would have been the charge that he was fighting if it was a white boy. And if it was a white boy, he probably wouldn't have been charged at all. We all know that. Cliff knows that, and I hope that when he's dating his white woman or white man, I don't know his sexuality, I'm not gonna guess, we're in 2025 26, I'm not gonna assume, he better hope that he's never put in a situation to defend himself, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the same thing here. So with that being said, I'm going to close out the case. I thank everybody for coming up. Again, if you guys want to donate to the channel, Neek at Night Media is the Cash App. It is exactly how it's written on the screen. I want to thank the Black Panthers for coming up here. I want to thank all of the guests, even Cliff and Amara, because we needed their opposing views, because if everybody got on here and everybody had the same opinion, it would have been a boring show. So I thank you, Cliff, for coming up and being disingenuous. I thank Amara for giving Amara's opinion, because we need different opinions up here, or else it would have been a boring show. So shout out to Sancho, shout out to NDA Rockies didn't talk, but shout out to everybody who came on the panel. Dallas 214, please listen before, Rasta, Skylife, Cliff, Monica, Skylight, everybody who came, clicked off, all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Happy Juneteenth. I'm proud to be Black in every season. Hopefully you guys are proud to be Black too. I would never wish to be anything else. And with that being said,
man,
I'll
free
catch y'all
Karmelo.
the
Black
next.
power.
Free Karmelo.
All right.